Look, I'm just saying, you haven't made a college football playoff. You want a Heisman, okay, cool, kudos. That's fine, good for you. But anything outside of that, and this is why I asked him, do you think, and this is why he's kind of like, you're getting a little bit into the politics of things. I agree with him. I think Penix Jr. from Washington should be the Heisman winner. 100%. I don't think there's really any argument about it. I think he should be the Heisman winner. But to kind of, because again, that whole narrative, especially fucking Caleb Williams coming out saying he wants a stock in whatever fucking team drafts him, as if that's really going to happen. The hype around him is starting to get shit on because of the fact that the team is 5-3. They're not going to make the playoff. They're well out of that category. So at this point in time now, it's like, okay, well, before Caleb Williams, who were they saying was the greatest prospect to come out so far? And there's Trevor Lawrence. Well, Trevor Lawrence came in as a true freshman, ice cold, and dominated Alabama in the national championship game. Dominated. We're not even like, this is like, when this happened, everyone looked at Trevor Lawrence like he was a fucking alien. I remember me and my brother watching that game going, this dude, you can feel it. You could got the goosebumps. Like, he's got the ice in his veins. He doesn't give a fuck about nothing that's going on. You see it on his face. That cold, calm, collected, just that's how he was throughout the national championship game. And with him, I'm going, I can see it. Hasn't lost a game, throughout high school and everything. And then he gets to college, but late in his college career, he finally loses a game. Yeah, and what throughout his college career, he only lost twice, I think. Made it to the national championship twice, won it once, lost twice in his entire college football career. You can't say that about Caleb Williams. He won a Heisman too. That's fine. But anything else in the accolades, he's not there. He's not doing all of those things. So now I'm looking at it going, when he says the political side, I look at it going, I wonder, because the narrative going around going is like, you guys are idiots for calling him the greatest quarterback prospect of all time. And when they make a list of all the quarterbacks that he would start over that came in the last, 5 years or whatever, I'm like, okay, really? These are the guys that you're talking about lower tier and backup fucking quarterbacks. That doesn't make a fucking argument for me. It just doesn't. What makes an argument is what I see on film. And I made it very clear at the beginning of the season. The first 3-4 games were definitely teams that USC should have blown the fuck out, but didn't and had trouble with in the first half. And so it was those games I was going, well, let's see how they do against ranked teams. Let's see how they do against teams that are actually worth the shit. And when it came down and when it happened, guess what? A nice big old L on the board. So it's Corey's like, look at like greatest scout over here. It's like, no, I'm not trying to, like, people got to stop getting so much into the hype. Hype kills so much of these players, like not so much as, their ability to actually be successful on the field, but it gets into their own ego. And then when it actually fails, there's no coming back from it.
Yeah.
We live in a society right now, you're either a superstar or you're a bust. There's no in between. And the way it looks like right now, Caleb Williams, is he going to be a starting quarterback in the league when he comes out? Absolutely. Is he going to be any good? That remains to be seen. Because you already know, and it happened with Brock Purdy, it's happened with every successful quarterback that there is. As soon as they get a fucking loss or one bad game, they had one bad game throughout the entire season, it's, oh, he's a bust. See, he wasn't worth a shit. Look at that. See, there's a reason why he was the last pick of the draft. There was a reason why he was there. See, he had one bad game, so now he's fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, again, from the Mizzle An Dub Show, and from the Ring Psychology Podcast 2.0, Dub Alvarez. What's up, Dub? See, his tech is doing it again. It's doing it again. Look at it. See?
He's on a delay.
He's delayed. He's on a delay. He's not doing it on his phone, is he? And he's muted. I can't. So there's a delay, and he's muted. He's getting like one more, and you're batting 1,000, Dub. He's like, God damn it.
Well,
but, you know,
sounds like we'll have technical difficulties on the Mizzle An Dub Show as well. Well,
but with Caleb, like, look, I understand he's going to be good, and I understand that, you know, he's intangibles wise. Like, I'm not going to say the guy sucks. I'm not saying that. I'm just not understanding, and, you know, obviously, Mr. Ojeda being who he is, he's got his, you know, he can't be throwing kids under the bus or doing anything else. Now, that was not my intention, you know, whatsoever. When I asked that question, I wanted to know from a scout's perspective, like an honest, like an actual scout, what it is that's being seen that I'm not seeing. You know, so that's all that question was for. It wasn't a gotcha question or anything else like that. And honestly, Mr. Ojeda, if you thought it was that way, I apologize. That was not my intention whatsoever to get like, oh, see, even this guy says it. Like, that was not my intention. I was trying to see what I'm trying to see what I don't see everyone else seeing, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But from what you guys are seeing, am I wrong in this?
Not
is
necessarily.
the tag a little? If he didn't have the tag, I don't think I would care as much. But I think because of the fact that they're giving him this tag, it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are we really looking at here when it comes to being the GOAT? Like, why do we always need to have these conversations every fucking year about, oh, this is going to be the next GOAT. This is going to be the next GOAT. How about we wait a couple of years to see how they develop before we start tagging them with these types of things?
Yeah. Well, maybe because he can make all the throws, supposedly. You know, if you can, they see you make an NFL throw, oh, yeah, he's ready. One little throw can make you a superstar. And we label these kids, thank you, we label these kids stars the moment they step foot on a college field. Some of them ain't even played a game, and we're goating them. And I definitely agree with you, JP. We need to just let them play. Like, Caleb Williams had the crown of LA on his head while they were winning. But the moment that they start losing, oh, what's wrong? But he can still make those NFL throws, though. But now he ain't the good quarterback that you complain to be, compare him to be because he lost. They have to go through adversity. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, thank goodness that he lost those couple of games in college, because now look at what he's doing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just lights out ball football.
I am a firm believer that it takes losses on your record to really determine what type of champion you really are.
I agree. I don't disagree.
It is very, 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 very hard for, oh, yeah, we getting the full squad in here. Yes. 6 MD.
There's my dog.
Screens in this bitch. This is what we're doing.
There goes my dog. There goes Country K in his house. What's up, brother?
How y'all doing?
Can anybody fucking hear me? That's what I want to know.
I can hear you now.
Hey, welcome to the show.
I was caught in that barrier of traffic, guys. I apologize.
You're me right now.
Hey, you're here now, brother, and that's all that matters.
So, yeah. All right, so what did I miss?
Anyhow, I just want to say that Wardell, he's that dude.
Oh,
he is that dude. That's all I can say. That man's ridiculous.
See,
what we were
But anyhow, what I was trying to say was it's finally nice to finally.
The only thing that sucks about this whole thing, when people give you phone calls, it just ruins everything. The audio just destroys the whole thing. Is he still delayed? We can hear him, but is he still delayed?
when my mic was being muted. I was just saying it's finally nice to get Matchsticks. I don't know at this rate. I was just saying it's finally nice to be on the show with Matchsticks because every time we've been a guest on the show, Matchsticks is doing his thing on the ones and twos. So it's finally nice to interact with.
I know, right? I'm getting ready to head out to rehearsal in a little bit. I got with DeRoe and San Jose tomorrow, so I got a show with him. So getting ready to get to a rehearsal here in a little bit, and it's been a busy one. Yeah.
Oh, definitely
busy, but it's been fun.
Pay that man.
DJ Matchsticks' life is a fucking movie, people. Just understand that. Understand that what this man does almost every weekend. You go to one of the shows and it's just a great time. So I highly recommend whatever shows that are coming out. Again, follow us on the Dropos. All of our social medias are all down there. Anything that DJ Matchsticks does, we share on there. So go check it out. Everything. So go be on that. Before we get into anything else, real quick, a quick message from our friends over at Popple.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go to popple.com and use the promo code PVP Family for 20% off your order. Real quick, Kay, it was funny that when you came on, Mr. Ojeda said he thought you were avoiding him because of how Miami's been doing this year.
Oh!
He gave the gator chomp and everything, but he's like, oh, he's not here. I can't say anything about Miami.
All right, I'm while Mizzle gets this the driest maniacal laugh I've ever heard out of the way. Mr. Ojeda also informed me why the birds fly upside down in Tallahassee.
Here we go.
He also told me that too. While we speaking on things, and secondly,
check the record.
Secondly, the Gators suck. I just gotta be direct with this one. Like they're trash. They're more focused on fighting.
That's a fact. Hey,
points.
I'm just saying, my Georgia Bulldogs enjoyed that.
His Georgia Bulldogs?
It got real.
He's a Georgia Bulldog fan.
Damn it.
Yeah, he had a whole thing going and it just cut out.
We kind of lost you there, Dub. You're gonna have to repeat what you said.
Is he doing it on his phone or on it? See, he has his phone. He's doing it on his Mac. I told him to do it on his phone. It'd be better.
was saying,
I'm having no problems.
Oh, that might be. It might be just the McDonald's is not connecting from down the street, is it?
I'm not on the Mac. I'm on the goddamn Dell.
Oh,
You should be on the Mac.
You know the funny thing is, I actually.
Oh shit! I wasn't trying to be that on point with it, but again, we're getting back into the conversation. We got into college football, talked a little bit with Caleb Williams and stuff, but now going all the way back to the original conversation, which again, if you're watching the All ProJaffos, we tend to do these little side routes going through our stories that we tell. When we get back onto the main road, sometimes that remains to be seen. Sometimes it never happens. We just keep taking the detour off wherever it is that we're going. But eventually, we make it back to the main road. This is that point.
You can do that when you have your own show. That's what you can do when you have your own show. Can't nobody tell you shit.
So we were talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tennessee Titans. I asked Matchsticks if the Pittsburgh Steelers were, I guess, the worst 5-3 team in the league right now, because they're one of those teams that it's definitely not like entertaining, football to watch. It's nothing like crazy, but again, and you guys have said it on your show, you don't bet against a guy like Mike Tomlin.
No,
and
you don't do it.
He's just, and I was telling him if he were to coach anywhere else, which is unlikely because again, Pittsburgh is very much, they stick with one head coach, especially if he's not, giving you
retire. They don't fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, they retire. They don't fire. That's what the Steelers do.
Do you know how many head coaches? I think they've had 4 in their entire existence, but it's 3.
Maybe 4. I think it's Chuck Noll, Cowher, and Tomlin. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 3 names. That's the only coaches I know, and they all retired. Well, Tomlin is still going, but they don't fire. They don't. They trust the process.
I was also telling Mastics that I think Tomlin, before it's all said and done, will get at least one more.
I agree.
He said he's like, well, how long is he going to be? Well, I was like, well, he's 51 years old. He's got time. He's got a lot of time. If that's what he chooses to do, he's got plenty of time to be chasing down, records and stuff like that. And exactly, if you keep, I think he'll retire the year he has a losing season. That's one. The year he has,
and I don't see that happening.
When he might call it.
I don't see that happening.
Well, he's that good of a coach, and I made it a point that if you, let's say for some whatever reason, Mike Tomlin were to leave the Pittsburgh Steelers, highly unlikely, probably will never happen. But let's just hit the rabbit hole while we're here. Okay. If they decided to let him go and go somewhere, teams that he would go to and make them automatic Super Bowl, like we talked. If he were to go to the Cowboys, if Mike Tomlin was the head coach of the Cowboys, would they not be like Super Bowl favorites?
Yeah, because he'll man that
on paper with what they have and stuff. With Mike Tomlin being the head coach, not enhance that. With
depending on who his offensive coordinator is, though, I got to know who his offensive coordinator is. Even though Matt Canada is there right now, Matt Canada ain't that great. So
that he is not. And we do know Mike Tomlin is very much a defensive-minded coach.
Yes.
So that's going to be obviously delegated to whoever it would be. But, I mean, I wouldn't know who the head coach would end up being for them. But if he were to go to the Dallas Cowboys, that would make them pretty much Super Bowl contenders and maybe even favorites. If he were to go to, and maybe Kay might disagree because, again, he doesn't necessarily, he doesn't like the fans of the 49ers. He's made that clear.
Neither does
But if Mike Tomlin were to go be the head coach for the 49ers, choke artist, I don't think if you put Mike Tomlin with the 49ers, he doesn't choke the way as Kay would call him, B-Rabbit, Kyle Shanahan, has been doing. If you put Mike Tomlin as the head coach of the 49ers, I don't think we lose that Super Bowl that we lost to Kansas City. I don't think we lose the NFC Championship games that we were just in these last few years.
Well, one thing's for sure.
I can't see a Mike. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing's for sure. Deebo Samuel and Raheem Mostert will still be touching the motherfucking football if Mike Tomlin's the head coach.
I agree to that. And I don't think a Mike Tomlin defense gives up a 3rd and 15 in the Super Bowl. I just don't see his led defense giving up a third and 15. I mean, they'll get some yardage, but I don't believe they'll get the full 15. They'll have to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
That's
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why are we talking about this situation like they don't have the exact same record as the 49ers right now?
Uh-oh.
That's a valid point.
They do.
Uh-oh.
What are you saying? We're on the same level as the Pittsburgh Steelers?
You goddamn right.
Damn.
Here's the problem. The thing is, it's glitz and glamour. Y'all think y'all are better than what they actually think y'all are. That's why y'all got to go get motherfuckers like Chase and all of these other guys to try to fill up a defense to have like a team of all-stars that's not performing.
Ooh.
It seems like y'all are rest haven for big names.
Well, we haven't had some of those big names in these 3 games.
I mean, when
Trent Williams being
big
one
names. Again, you keep saying Trent Williams, but again, why are y'all not scheming? Because Trent ain't there. Y'all still getting passes off and scoring points. Y'all should be able to scheme around that, right?
Yeah, but Kyle Shanahan has a very good tendency to, regardless of who he has in there, still running the same stuff that he would run with the starters.
I'm about to say you got to forget who that coach is. That man is about it. That
all.
man is fucking.
I don't even want to talk to coaching. Vegas got it right, goddammit, with your team. McDaniels.
It's long over fucking due with that. Hey, you can bring that shit on. I threw a fucking celebration. It was oh happy day.
I know you did. I saw that. I saw those.
Yeah, it was oh happy day around here, man.
And the Hallelujah chorus for that matter.
And I'm sorry, I feel for Mark Davis because the fan base really laid into his ass. We are pissed the fuck off. If we can see this, how are you not seeing this? And kudos slightly to him for reaching out to the vets of the team. I believe the players got McDaniels fired. It wasn't Mark Davis that fired. It was Devontae Adams that got him fired. Let's just be real. It was when Devontae Adams slammed his helmet on Monday Night Football, which broke my soul to see that man do that. I was like, he got to go. Devontae Adams should not have that frustration in any game. Any game. So
and now you got dude from Onyx,
Antonio Pierce. I think
dude from Onyx as your head coach now. I was just waiting for him to go slam.
Leave sticky fingers alone. Leave sticky fingers alone.
I don't think that's one person you should be talking shit about. I think that's one person. It's a few rap crews that you should leave alone, and Onyx for sure was the top of that list. But I'm just going to let you know that. I'm just going. Hey, look. I'll tell you right now, Masters is a hip hop historian. I'm certain y'all know he ain't say that shit, and I'm gonna go ahead and step back because the other Jaffos not saying that shit. Dub and Mizzle again.
I guess the views and opinions of JP do not reflect everybody. Oh shit! I mean, I was actually kind of happy with that hire because he definitely he seems like he's going to be a player's coach type of guy. He does seem like he even said it himself. Wants to bring back that gritty toughness, like the old Raider way. I don't know how close to the past product he really wants to be. If he wants to go back to leading the league in penalties and shit like that.
No, let's not go that route. We don't need to go that route. We're trying to get some respectability back up in this league.
Do you remember how Antonio played for the Giants? Like, do you remember how he played? Well, then,
he was ruthless out there. He was an animal. Yeah,
that's probably tell you what he expects from him. So you know who's gonna turn up. Like your biggest beast is gonna turn up.
Oh, Max Crosby.
Max Crosby's about to eat. Yeah, Max Crosby is about to eat.
Yeah, release the hounds on that one. That was exactly what's going to happen with that defense. It's going to be amplified, for sure.
What I do like, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air listening to Antonio Pierce press conferences. It's.
Can I ask y'all a question? Do y'all think Marshawn Lynch should be a head coach?
Hell yes and no.
That shit would be funny as hell. He'd be talking hella shit on the sideline the whole game.
Here's what people don't understand.
Yes, what Mastic said, I totally agree with.
But here's what people don't understand. When it comes to football and X and O's, Marshawn is actually intelligent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's a fucking genius.
More than what people give him.
Yeah.
I think he can do it, but I think the media would try to make it more about him than the team, like they're doing with Deion in Colorado. That's the only
100%.
That's the only downfall that would be with Marshawn being a head coach, which I think he could do it. But it's like, but then again, Marshawn would be that Negro to be like, you know what? Look at my guys. Don't look at me. Look at my guys.
Yeah.
Because
you know what though, and I honestly would say that Marshawn will get a lot of 15-yard penalties thrown on him. Let's just go ahead and throw that. My man is getting flagged.
We would have a head coach that's literally jamming the fucking Bay Area music on the sideline with his headset on.
He is straight open through and through. He is straight open through and through to the team.
You might see Marshawn with the cart coming back. That's what you might see. Yeah. But I mean, again, I don't doubt that he could be a coach. But if he is, should he kind of take the Deion route and kind of like start in high school, go to college, and then see what you got to do after that and get a little bit under his belt before an automatic head coaching job? As funny as that would be,
that's a fair assessment. I mean, he should start at the high school level.
Most of these guys already started coaching though. Like I'm pretty sure he hosted camps and things like that.
Oh yeah, he's done plenty of that
at his old high school. So you know what I mean. I feel like he probably already will be able to. He'll do it. Like obviously at the high school level, probably at his alma mater if he did it anywhere.
Do you think even he would want to do it though?
I don't think so.
I don't know, but
I don't know if Marshawn is willing to deal with that.
It would be good for the NFL. It would be good for the NFL if he did.
It would be ratings for the NFL for sure.
Oh, I mean,
go ahead, Mizzle.
But is it positive ratings or is it a clown show? Because like again, you got to really ask Marshawn Lynch, like, if you're gonna do. Obviously, we all know in the NFL what head coaches have to go through every single year. Now, with what Marshawn is doing right now outside of football, with all the TV shows, like everything that he's been doing outside of the league, he's been doing very well for himself. You know, helping out in the community, doing all the things that you would expect current and former NFL players to be doing. He's doing it tenfold, but he's doing it his own way, which I love every single bit of it. Would he be willing to sacrifice that essentially to be a head coach in the NFL? Because we're talking, some of these head coaches, some of them don't see their families for the entire year. You know, some of them either living in different states or whatever, constantly at the office. You know, the amount of preparation that the head coaches need to go through, that is super stressful to even think about. Now, to actually do it with everything that he has, is he willing to sacrifice what he's been doing in order to be a head coach in the league?
That's another fair assessment. Yeah, I think he could, but I don't think Marshawn doesn't want to do that, because just look what he did with the interviews. You know, he only talked to selective people. Let's just be real. Now, let me just say this: he only fucks with selective people. Let's just be 100. If it wasn't Marcus Robinson, he wasn't doing an interview. If it wasn't Deion Sanders, he wasn't doing an interview. He talked more with Marcus Robinson because they was teammates in Seattle. That's why those interviews got. So I think he could put it together if he wanted to, but I don't think he wants to. I don't think you can sway that based off of the interview situation, just simply because he made it known that media sways what they twist the words. So that was his whole point of not really wanting to talk to people and stuff. So he had good reason of why he made that whole stand and taking that stance.
Yeah, but what makes
you buried him in Buffalo? Like, it makes perfect sense of why he acts the way he acts towards.
Okay, but why would that change if he becomes a head coach? Why would he feel any different becoming a head coach than he was as a player and currently?
Because the certain things you got to understand, it's a job. Like, all of these players in the NFL, though, to a certain degree, they're aware it's a job. So when you're a coach, you gotta, especially a head coach, certain things come with the territory, and certain people are aware of that. And Marshawn is very aware that a head coach has to talk to the media. It's damn near mandatory.
I think it's actually a contractual obligation.
It is an obligation. He has to be available.
Every game.
He has to be available.
Right. So it's like,
but then that goes to my question though. Like, yes, with knowing that that's what he has to go to, because again, it's a contractual obligation that the head coach has to talk to the media. I'm not going to say it's like selling out because that's too far. But is he willing to, I guess, give up a piece of who he is and how he feels for a job, for a head coaching job? And again,
what are you talking
something.
About? What are you talking about?
As in, like,
he ain't finna sell himself short from a head coaching job.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're making this.
I'm saying you're not going to get any less than what he's going to actually give, and how many. And this is no fault of Marshawn because again, he's the most genuine human being, out of a lot of the celebrities that I've seen. Like, you can call Marshawn Lynch what you want. Fake is not one of them. He is going to be who he is going to be. But how many head coaches? Let's be being realistic here. How many owners are willing to deal with those fines, that headache, and everything that's going to come with that? Because again, he does feel a certain way about the media. I don't think him being a head coach is going to change his mindset on that. It'll just be another one of those press conferences where I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, it's going to be another one of those situations because again, Marshawn does not strike me as one of those people who would change any part of who he is for a job he doesn't necessarily need.
Again, thinking too deep into this, and again, the player is aware that the coach has to talk. So that's the main reason why we're all saying that he probably won't take the job because of certain things that's dealing with grown men that don't want to listen. Like certain things like that,
that's number one. Yeah.
Coach Prime said it himself. I don't want to deal with grown men that don't want to listen. That's the reason why he don't want to go to the NFL and he'll stay at college. Like, it's a lot of people that came out and said different things. That's why I said the Marshawn thing, you just dipping too deep into it. You're just thinking too deep into it. That's all it is. There's a lot of people that don't want to deal with certain things. And again, if Marshawn did coach, I don't think he'll go past high school. If he'll go past high school, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think if anything, he'll probably want to be around the kids more than he'll probably want to be around anything else. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree to that for sure.
And he ain't got to talk to the media in high school. It ain't no obligation.
Exactly. There's no contractual obligation there. Like, you don't have to deal with none of that shit.
Unless you got a state or, you know what I'm saying, state playoffs or they going, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah, but I think in those situations, especially it being the high school setting and everything else like that, and him being around the kids and stuff, I mean, he's going to be genuine, but I think those will probably be, like, if he was a head coach and doing an interview during state playoffs and stuff, I think that would be the most genuine but the best version of Marshawn because he can be himself and he's doing what he loves. He's helping out the kids become better.
Well, yeah.
That's where you'll see basically Marshawn Lynch like shining at his brightest, like, honestly. I think that's where you would see it right there in those interviews. And I think people would want to fucking cherish those interviews because that's the type of stuff you really get to see how true a person is. And again, Marshawn, people can agree with how he does it, disagree with how he does it. The fact is he's genuine. He's a pretty damn good person. He does a lot for his community. He's a man of his word. And he's just true to being him.
Well, and he's not Marshawn.
Yeah, and he came out, he said he finds it funny how people call him dumb. He's like, man, I had over 3.0 or like a 3.5 GPA at Cal Berkeley. What are you talking about?
Not just that. He was.
You just can't take the Oakland out of him. That's all. Yeah. He's just straight Oakland. That's it.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that. He was a track star and basketball star at Oakland Tech, in addition to playing football. I mean, one of the greatest one of the greatest sound bites he ever did was I think it was on High School Sports Focus, which is a very popular show on
taking his offensive line out to eat.
To Denny's. I'm taking him to Denny's.
Yeah, he's gonna take his offensive line to Denny's.
One of the greatest sound bites ever known to man. But I mean, that's just who he is. I mean, he literally gave a man the shoes that he was wearing off his feet and gave them to the guy. That's just who Marshawn is.
Matt Six, I know the time is getting a little close, and I know Matt Six has to be heading out soon. Is it about time for you, sir?
Yep, you're getting close to that time. Yep.
All right. Let everybody know what you're up to first before you head out.
Tomorrow night we in San Jose with Duro, rapper out of Dallas, Texas. Y'all know the ice cream paint job. Everybody know the song. They may not know him by name, but they know the song. So with him down at Liquid in San Jose tomorrow night. And then November 18th, we in Reno with the Loonies. November 18th. Just came back from Vegas. I was in Vegas this past weekend. You know, the spirits out here just moving and grooving.
Bro, I'm a big Yuck Mouth fan, man. That is my dude.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mizzle, tell the story real quick before Man Six got here about how well, I'll let you tell the story.
What, how I met him?
Yes.
Oh, he was out at Sacramento at Dr. Green Thumbs. He was at a dispensary.
Oh, yeah. Dispensary, yeah.
And, I walked up in there and bro, literally was starstruck. They got his music playing. I'm in there rapping his whole shit. I go by the tree and took like 3 or 4 pictures with him, man. He's a real humble, nice dude. And
yeah, they some cool dudes. Yeah, like most of the artists that I've DJed for, like they ain't got these big heads. Like, you know, I've done shows with like Lil Flip and like Mike Jones and, you know, other artists and stuff. And they down to earth, like when you just, you know, kicking it with them, you know, Young Dro, just down to earth, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I straight up told him, man, I know his whole albums, everything. Everything. I'm a big Yuck Mouth fan. That's straight up.
It's good to know that everybody is taking care of the best DJ in the entire world, as they should, God damn it, because he deserves it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest, and once again, just don't tell him what to play. He's got it. He knows.
I got you.
He knows.
Just pay the man.
Just pay me.
Pay him and he's good. Trust. All right. Good. Matt Six. All right, bro. We'll see you again.
All right.
Hey, see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being there tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep, we got bro, I have not found any cleats. The places where I thought I was going to find cleats, I did not find cleats. I got to find them in the morning or something like that.
And here's my thing. The practice is at 10 in the morning. There's absolutely no fucking way that's happening, firstly. Because, yeah, again, you could have said something way earlier, and I could have looked with you.
Bro, I thought I was going to find, like, I went into these, like, I've seen them at Ross, I've seen them at Marshall's. I walk in today, the only pair that I saw were these Nike Alphas, black, molded at the bottom, nice ones. $20. I was gonna grab them. I look at they're too big. They were size 15s. I'm a 13.
What size do you wear?
13.
I mean, you saying like I'm supposed to know this information, sir.
Wow, I'm just like it was a size 15. I was like, I'm a size 13. Even my wife asked me, she's like, would you be able to kind of like stuff? I was like, if I want to fuck up my ankles and my knee, then yeah, I could probably work them. But
nah. We can check a couple places for their clothes tonight, and then you know what I mean, see what's going on, and just do it like that. But like, yeah, man, you gotta say something way earlier, dude.
I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out.
Oh, all right. So the fans, I don't know if you said this on the show already. So I convinced Josh to join my team, which I play for the River City Tigers. This is my second year now playing for this team, which is also going to be my last year playing semi-professional football. So I pretty much pulled this man off the couch, and I'm like, let's play. This is going to be my 10th and last year. I'm pretty much done. I'm done with this contact shit unless A7 coming in. But outside of that, I am done. I'm going to just play flag football.
Hey.
Well, we definitely want A7 to come to Northern California Bay Area. I've been pushing for that.
It's gonna fucking happen, I guarantee it. And I can't wait till it does, goddammit.
Yeah,
so
that's support. That's pretty much. You already know I support.
That's the only
but he got.
But I got him off the couch, and we're just kind of now
because
like equipment right now at this point. That's the stage.
Yeah,
right. We're collecting equipment. We have OTAs tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Sacramento. So that is the whole thing.
Ah, damn!
To bring you up to speed.
I'm leaving. I'd have came out there and watched.
All the thing you're gonna see is a bunch of people throwing up, like including myself. I am not gonna be good in this tomorrow. I have not been doing cardio that much. I've been.
I know full well.
Cardio, absolutely not. My cardio's been at 0, so it's.
Well, to be honest, thank God.
Nonetheless,
God, it kind of happened
in person.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I promise, it's gonna happen. Well, it's kind of the timing of it was fine because I started kind of really going back to the gym and getting back into shape and stuff like that in July. So when he told me about this, I was already starting to put in the work. And right now, I was telling him I kind of felt proud of myself. I'm honestly the strongest that I've ever been. I may not necessarily look it just yet because I'm in a like that whole bulking phase and everything, but I was not able to throw around 225 the way I've been throwing it around lately. I was not able to squat and 315 plus and everything like that. I wasn't doing that. Even at my best in high school, I wasn't doing it. So the fact that I'm doing all that kind of stuff now, when Kay brought it up, I thought about it going, the last time I've actually, touched the field to actually practice or play or anything like that, outside of coaching, was 2012.
Oof.
Early 2012. So over 10 years ago that I've actually, 11 years that I've actually laced them up and actually put them out there. So I thought to myself, one, I didn't really go out the way I wanted to. That wasn't like me, fucking up my knee and everything like that was not the way I wanted to be done with it. I wanted to be done like at either if I didn't make the pros, just be done at the end of college, my last year there or whatever. That didn't happen that way. So the whole ending there was like already at that point left a sour taste in my mouth. I got, into broadcasting and doing all this stuff to stay close to the game and all that. But my last few self-evaluation tests that I've done, when we went to the national championship out there in Bullhead City, Arizona, when I know it was just, us bullshitting and throwing the ball around and, kind of running routes and everything else like that. But I was literally, and you can ask Kay this because almost after every single route that I ran, I would ask Kay, how did that look? Did you, whatever. And he was fully honest with me on how things looked, how it can be broken down, everything, helping me out on that. So after doing all that, catching the ball, making sure I still have my hand-eye coordination, thank God. I can still catch a football and stuff like that, thank God. Now I'm at a point where let's just fucking see what happens.
Nice.
Obviously, it's like I'm going to take all the precautions to make sure that myself is safe because I definitely can't afford to get hurt. That's for sure.
Right.
That's for goddamn sure.
Bills need to be paid still.
So like that's priority number one. But one of the reasons why I didn't get back into it is because my mindset never left of me worrying about my knee. Even during practices and stuff like that, when I was coming back trying to I never really got over that fear. It was hard for me to cut on my left because I never knew, I didn't know, well, shit, if I cut on my left, I could tear it again. I never, from a certain side, like I couldn't really, if I was lined up on the right side of the line going left, that became a mental struggle for me. And even playing with the contact and everything, I was defending this thing like a motherfucker. And it was not helping the way I was playing. Coach Swanee, shout out to him, a wide receivers coach, played with Marshall Falk out there in San Diego State. He was a draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers after the Super Bowl win in '94. So I got a lot of respect for him. He's taught me a whole hell of a lot. During that time, he can tell. He knew immediately that he's like, your knee's not right. It's either your knee's not right still or your head's not right. And to be honest, it was both. It was a little bit like I wasn't, really taking care of my knee the way I should have. Oh, and the other one? There you go. It wasn't really, it was both. I didn't really try to, but because I was so worried about it, I babied the fuck out of it. So, that wasn't going to help my situation. And then again, the mental hurdles of worrying about it and babying it and stuff, that just didn't work out. Well, now with working out and so the fact that I can even put 315 pounds on my shoulders and go up and down 10 times without having to worry about it felt good to me. So when he brought it up, hey, my last year, the see how it goes. Fuck it. See how it goes. We're already starting off very, very. We're starting off great so far.
Also, if you're not able to attend, like you guys aren't, we're gonna film everything from tomorrow on. So we're filming everything, capturing everything. We're gonna do it like well, I know you guys aren't Tampa fans, and I'm not sure if your team does these type of videos, but like Tampa, when we got Brady, we started a thing called In the Current, where we like encapsulate everything that's going on, practices and stuff, and they like overview everything. It's almost like a Hard Knocks type of situation, but it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of what we're gonna do. We already talked about it like during one of the live chats, like we joked about it, but the coach already okayed it. So we're gonna record everything and capture it and do things like that. So stay tuned for that. If you guys could and would go subscribe to the River City Tigers YouTube page. That's most likely where it's gonna come out at. And yeah,
I'm liking the colors, man. I like the black and white with the white helmet and black stripes. I'm a fan.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan of the white Tigers. I'm gonna go out trying to look as much like fucking Tommy from the Power Rangers as I fucking possibly can. I am going to. I swear to God, I'm going to. I am going to be taking full on advantage of this whole situation.
Hey, look, whatever's your pregame thing, you should wear that.
Already done.
My pregame thing, I wear my country hat every pregame. You know what I'm saying? You can wear your cowboy
Bro, can you come in wearing overalls like what's his name, Buddy from the Patriots? Vince Wolf, can you pull a Vince Wilfork, please?
No,
Can you just?
It would be the Cletus from the not the professor overalls. Come on, Cletus.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, that's tough. What were you saying, Mizzle?
I said, already got it done. Subscribed already.
Oh yeah, cool. Thank you. So yeah.
Hey, no problem, man. You know I support you guys, man.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Oh yeah, we're
yes, sir.
If I could use your platform for a minute, I would like to promote another show that I'm doing. So,
Oh.
yeah. So, tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the Vegas Hype Media Networks, the same network you can find the Other Side of the Ball podcast, myself and Chris Vera, the division manager here in San Antonio, Nevada, me and him are doing our own show, our own sports show called Talking Ish with Dub and Chris. So, 60-minute show.
I like the title. I like the title. I really do. That's dope.
So, and if I know Chris, it's about to get pretty hectic.
So,
if I know Chris, those are about to be some conversations. He's gonna have that look of this month.
No, so me and Chris, just was talking because me and Chris have gotten together many of Sundays so far during the season, and of course, Chris Vera, one of the best football minds you'll ever want to talk to. If you haven't had the chance to talk to him, do so because he's got a ton of football knowledge. And we're just like, you know what?
You get him here.
Why not have a damn sports? I'm like, well, why the fuck not? So tomorrow, 5 to 6, Vegas Hype Media Network, Talking Ish with Dub and Chris, 60 minutes. It'll mainly be football. We're going to talk college. We're going to talk mainly college NFL.
No, dog.
Yes, the simple one has said something.
My dog.
Got him on.
Former Solano chief.
I just wanted to
yes,
put that
indeed.
out. I just want to put that out there.
Indeed. So, thank you, sir, for watching.
Talking Ish with Dub and Chris coming at you tomorrow, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. on the Vegas Hype Media Network.
I do like that name and title. Hopefully, I'm in LA by the time that starts, and I will definitely chime in and watch that for sure.
Oh, that's studio? Fuck.
Yeah, I love that studio.
I got hooked up with that guy.
Yeah, I'm jealous. No lie, look slight jealous.
You're telling me, like I had videos, I'm trying to decorate the house as best I can. Like, damn.
Well, like I said, the very first time I stepped in there, I said, "Is this sports heaven?"
Right.
I'm looking at this. I'm like,
what it seems like. It's like, damn, that's a.
I mean, like the lighting is perfect. Like whatever, like
shout out to Blaze.
Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect in there.
Which, by the way,
shout out to Blaze, man.
Which, by the way, Blaze is going to produce me and Chris's show also. So he was like, "I know
awesome.
producer." I'm like, well, you know what? Damn it, here we go. But we definitely plan on having in a call-in number like we do on the other side of the wall. So if we can get callers to call in and talk football, by all means, do so. Like I said, this is why I'm grinding so hard for all these podcasts that I'm doing or guest starring on. Because I mean, I've been trying to make this my career, and this is what I want to do since I was 5. And like I said,
100%.
if it wasn't for Mizzle coming up with the idea for the Mizzle An Dub Show, and I will say this every time, like he always says, I don't need the full credit, but it's really to him of why we're doing the Mizzle An Dub Show. And like I said, in 3 years,
cry, Miss. Don't cry.
I mean, in 3 years,
crying. I'm just not gonna take the credit because I just wanted to just sit here and talk sports with my brother. I mean, I love sports. I watch everything sports. There's never been nobody close to me that talks sports like Dub. So when I met this man, I was like, yo, you are like somebody I need in my life beyond sports though. But when we became who we are and where we became as men, I was like, hey, whenever you're ready to do what you want, what we've been talking to do, because as he would say, part interruption was our motivation to do what we do. That's what made us want to do this the show.
We love Will Bondicornizer was our ultimate source, was our ultimate motivation because we faithfully watched that show, and it's about it's about the only good thing ESPN has now because everything else just flat out just sucks since ESPN wants to get too political.
I mean, what they've been doing. I mean, so some of it, like with some of the Rodney Harrison, coming out with the, people were getting on him after he would try and kind of, I forgot who it was he was talking to, but basically say that Zach Wilson was sorry. Literally on live TV was saying that he was trash. Came out and apologized and stuff. Like,
but if
I understand.
He's trash. If he
like
was
he's trying to, he's trying. I mean, that's what I was saying. Is he technically wrong?
No.
But there's a time and place for when you're becoming a media member, especially at that level. You don't. You want to up. These players already get enough negative shit as it is throughout their lives, going through college, through the NFL, over stupid fans giving death threats, or fucking these DMs and shit because you didn't do shit for their fantasy team. That kind of bullshit that goes around. Like, all the crap and negativity on social media stuff that they have to deal with on a constant basis. Why wouldn't you want to be that media member that kind of helps uplift? Like, we don't have to talk to him and tear him down at the same time. We can just talk about what he did. Hey, you did this on the field. Great game. How do you feel? Blah, blah, the cliche questions after a win and stuff like that. But you don't have to go and try and make a point by baiting a player from the opposition to, and that I forget who it is, and I feel like shit for not remembering who it is. But even he was saying Zach Wilson, like, no, he's actually a pretty good player. He's actually not as bad as y'all think he is. I mean, and kind of after that, Zach Wilson's been almost kind of gaining the respect of the locker room slowly, but surely you see that out there in New York right now. He had that one tough loss game where the accountability on the sidelines, which for any leader, accountability is huge for the guys around you.
It's everything.
So for the fact that he was, showing that accountability, going, hey, that's my fault. I'll get better. Like that you gain respect of the players and your peers by doing that. Now they want to play for you a little bit more. So and then now
it's crazy. That a player is developing with a veteran giving him the game. It's crazy to think that happens. Like, I mean, this ain't nothing new. Like, this actually was supposed to happen. Zach Wilson is what's supposed to happen in the NFL. It's supposed to be a veteran to teach you what's going on. Granted, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So he wouldn't have got the teachings like he's getting now. But granted, he got them. So it's crazy to think that a veteran's giving you the game and teaching you how to play the game and telling you that everything's going to be okay, because when he's on Pat McAfee's show every Tuesday, because I see the clips, I don't watch the whole thing no more, but every time you see him, he's talking about Zach Wilson. He's saying everything going to be okay. He kept saying everything going to be okay. So when you see him out on TV, he's saying everything going to be okay. And then he telling you in person everything gonna be okay. So you got that reassurance from a good veteran. Like, you gonna feel a lot better than hearing some media members say whatever you gonna say. So I mean, this is what's supposed to happen in the NFL, but they phase veterans out. So
facts.
This is what
big facts.
That's
Zach is gonna be really good next season. If Aaron Rodgers play for them and they get rid of Zach and they get somebody else, Zach is going to be really good next season. But if he stays and then Aaron Rodgers completes his time there, and then whenever Zach takes over, he's going to be really good. But whenever he takes the reins after this season, he's going to be really good.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
We went, isn't it funny? We went from, especially with Corey Hammond and everything, shout out to Corey and stuff on the show. A guy getting all the hype after fucking his mom's best friend. That kind of hype and everything, the game around him. He had one good throw at the combine, and then all of a sudden he's the number 2 overall pick. Like, look, let's be completely real about the entire situation. When we're talking about Zach Wilson, 99.9% of us, I'm going to leave room for a little bit of the doubt, thought he was a bust for sure, trash, no reason why he should be a starter in the NFL. Now, because of we've been seeing that, and hey, the New York media is what it is. They're going to highlight everything. when you watch Zach Wilson from the time he showed up into the league to now, he almost kind of grew on you a little bit because everyone is now seeing something completely different than what we all thought initially. Everyone thought, oh, this entitled kid, whatever the hell, he's just going to kind of phase in and out of the league, whatever. He thinks he's the shit and he's not. Everyone thought his ego was overinflated. But now that they're seeing all of this, the accountability and kind of humanizing him a little bit now more than they were before. The media is, since that point in time with Rodney Harrison, tried to, destroy Zach Wilson's name on live television.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson has almost like revitalized them, and now the team is behind them. They're playing pretty good ball. Now people are starting to look at him going, maybe the season's not lost after all. We might not be looking Super Bowl. Let's not get that far. But there is a decent possibility now that with the help of Zach Wilson at the helm at QB, the Jets can still possibly make a wild card spot. That wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility in how I'm seeing it right now. And will be one of the first to say, I was one of those guys that said Zach Wilson ain't shit, and he ain't going to be shit. But again, I love to be proven wrong, because then I can come on this show and be like, hey, you know what? I know I said all this shit, but from what I'm seeing right now, there's growth, and I like what I'm seeing. He's not just he's almost becoming relatable. I love it when players are relatable. That's why I love Marshawn Lynch so much. He's fucking relatable. He's like an actual person that we see and hang out with and stuff like that, on every weekend or whatever. Like all those guys that you can relate to. So when it comes into now, you show the accountability. He's showing those steps of trying to become a leader. Everybody around him is starting to gravitate towards that, and you're seeing it out on the field. And you can't really hate on that. You can't. Why are you going to hate on somebody's growth? Unless they came out of Oklahoma, then by all means, I love everything. All like the growth and everything. That's fine. But again, that's. I know I'm giving people a whole hell of a lot of shit here. I know the rivalry runs deep, and I know I say what I say. I fully stand by what I say. But
I had a question.
Shit, he's going to bring him up. Go ahead.
Yeah, you already know who I'm asking about. So,
all right. Well, we'll get into that. Before we get into that, let's get into a message real quick from our sponsors over at Bud Love.
What if I told you that Bud gets better? Introducing Bud Love, the long-awaited herbal blend that's designed to be mixed with your favorite bud and enjoyed together, like the mixer in a cocktail. Bud Love is made from marshmallow leaf, an ancient medicinal herb, the mother cannabinoid, CBG, and rich natural flavors, including terpenes. Offering a wide variety of premium Herbal Plus mixers to complement your favorite strains. Why? Because every bud needs some love. Our carefully formulated blends improve your experience, complementing your favorite flower and bringing out its best qualities. Many bud lovers even report that it helps reduce unwanted side effects like worry, and instead creates a happy, zen feeling. Bud Love contains no cannabis or nicotine. It won't give you a buzz on its own, but when consumed together, it reduces the amount of bud needed to get the feeling you love, allowing your precious flower to last even longer. Bud Love is best enjoyed with your first bud of the day, carefully paired with your favorite strain. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors, ranging from classic to more fruity to natural, as well as tobacco flavored for those who enjoy a spliff. Mix Bud Love and flower in whatever amounts work best for you for a perfect buzz. Whether you're chilling with friends, attending a social event, or going for a hike, experiment and find your own love ratio. Bud Love's unique blends allow you to craft a happier, smoother, and more personalized experience. If you love Bud, then Bud Love is for you. Try it today and help us tell the world that Bud does in fact get better with Bud Love.
Yes, everybody go to budlove.com and use the promo code Jaffo Army for 15% off your first order. Now we got to get into the NFL talk. We're gonna get into predictions real quick. Okay, please. You wanted to bring him up. Go ahead, ask your question.
I mean,
what is it about fucking Baker Mayfield that you want to bring up?
Why would I not bring him up if you're gonna sit here and give the praise to one quarterback that you slandered? You slandered him. Tarnished his name, and definitely said that he should not be in the league. So, and you're saying about accountability and growth and things like that.
Yep.
Well, why not bring up a guy that's a starter and not a backup because of emergency?
Because I've seen no growth in his personality. That's why.
And I would call bullshit. I would call bullshit.
Oh, here comes
of the highest order.
He's still the same little asshole that he was coming out of Oklahoma. That's what it. Look, I have given him way more praise than I probably can even digest at this point in time. Okay, but I have given him enough praise on this show that this season, 3-4 is not, necessarily anything, crazy to boast about. But he hasn't been playing terrible to the point where I'm like, well, if anything, he's proving that he's not ass, he's mediocre. He's kind of upgraded, a little bit from me. Okay, that's just at least I gave him that. You got to be happy at least at that point. That's growth in me, I think.
I feel you, but we beat the Bills. Fuck all that. We beat the fucking Bills. You can say whatever the hell you want. We beat them. You can have that fucking.
And we've been talking all year on how suspect the Bills are.
So
is that really something that we? Yeah. We can say we beat the Bills, but does it really matter at this point? We kind of knew who they were.
We had our moments where we were up and down and stuff like that, but again, it's a lot of figuring out. I feel like a few games. We just, like I said, the Detroit game Mike shouldn't have played. I feel like. All right. I guess.
Well,
let's say we'll revisit the Niners. We'll revisit the Niners' future whenever y'all now got this whole superstar team. Oh, we got the pass rush from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Don't mean shit. Dang, what the fuck does that mean?
Okay. We still have Steve Wilkes as our defensive coordinator. That's where the problem is lying.
Is your head coach,
I've also given him as much shit as I can possibly give.
You had 3 different coordinators, and none of them have won your Super Bowl. Your offense looked like he gonna win a Super Bowl for y'all team.
Yeah, but the defensive coordinaters and offensive coordinators have become pretty decent head coaches where they've gone. Shit, I'm pretty sure Mike McDaniel's is be doing it. At this point, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. But you got DeMeco Ryans is now, to be honest, the Houston Texans are doing a hell of a lot better than people thought they were going to be fucking doing this year.
We played them.
That is what it is, but you can't deny that Vegas has it right now. The line has Houston -3. It's close, but it has Houston -3 winning this game.
But unfortunately, Mr. Pierce is not playing Sunday.
Oh,
the Texans running back. He is out for the game.
Oh,
that's sack of shit. Vita Vea back now. You lucky little fucker. That's all I'm gonna say. You a lucky little fucker. I'll tell you right now. Because if we would have had Vita,
Peters High School great Vita Vea.
We lost by 1 possession, and we have Vita. It would have been ugly if we would have had Vita. Boy, oh boy, it would have been ugly. Oh my man, fuck the Bills.
I mean, so CJ Stroud is now going to have probably, Vita Vea on his ass all day, but he's been doing, pretty damn good for a rookie this year. 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the year. He's not doing bad. He's not doing bad. Look, man, I know you don't want to give him too much credit because you're playing him this week, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Stroud has he been? I'm sure he's been sacked plenty of times. If they're 3-4, I'm sure he's probably been sacked plenty of times.
That's what's about to happen.
But at least with those sacks, he's not panicking and turning them into turnovers. Like that. That's the whole. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Be calm.
Like he may be taking sacks too, but he's taking care of the ball.
Hey, make sure your punter gets us the ball whenever you cool with the ball. You know what I mean? Make sure you cool, calm, and collected when you hand it to the punter. That's all I care about, CJ. If you're going to extend it to the punter.
So let's get into predictions here. So Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs, Frankfurt Stadium. This is the Germany game. Some players are happy about it. Some players are not. Happy about having to play overseas, but fuck it. You're a grown man playing a child sport for millions of dollars. You fucking do it.
Indeed. Yep.
If you're having a free trip to fucking Europe. Let's go. Just go. Just go.
Yep. Yep.
Go see the world. Culture. Get some culture in your lives. Just learn from everybody around the world. Why not?
They fight.
But again, jet lag and shit is a thing, and that is a motherfucker during a highly competitive NFL football game. So I kind of see where the argument of playing overseas would be, But again, we're trying to grow the game to the point where we can maybe have more than just flag football in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Maybe actual, tackling, hard-hitting football can become part of the thing. We just had Luis Ojeda who's saying the International Football League that's coming out, it has 3 teams in Mexico, 3 teams in the States, and 3 teams across Europe. So the game of football it's not going to die anytime soon, regardless of popular belief. There are leagues everywhere.
Speaking of that,
in our time since we've started this show, literally 2 weeks before COVID hit, to now, our eyes have opened up to so much. When we first got it, the only thing that we really knew about was obviously the big 3. The NFL, the MLB, and the NBA.
Well,
nobody really gave a shit. Nobody really gave a shit about soccer. We definitely, at the point, didn't give a shit about F1. We weren't really like boxing and everything at that time. Weren't really. But we kind of made it a point to ourselves that we wanted to do more than just the big 3, and that led us to Kay, doing his stuff and then bringing up the A7FL.
Well, yeah, but I ventured off into a lot more than what you were just saying.
But you had more. Coming into it, obviously, with your experiences, with trying out for the CFL and everything else like that, you brought that experience into it. But
I was watching European football already, though. Like I was already watching European football and stuff like that before COVID. Like I was kind of watching other things already. You know what I mean? So I hear what you're saying though, as far as covering on the show. But as far as watching,
right? Different covering on the show, yes.
I like World Chase Tag. Like that's one of the things I love. I love watching all kind of stuff, bro. Like I'm telling you, like.
But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that because you venture off and see all those different types of sports. You open my eyes to it, and now it's like, oh shit, kind of learning from what you're seeing, and then now, when we talking with the A7FL, and that's led to now, oh shit, there's way more than just the A7FL, the Arena League, everything else, like the sub leagues and everything else like that are around, all over the place, because all of these players that we've gotten to meet come from those different, backgrounds, the flag football backgrounds, the Arena League, the minor Arena Leagues. They just, all these different types of, situations have been opened up because you have ventured out into looking at other things other than the big three. So that has definitely helped.
Country K channeling his inner Jim McKay on ABC's Wide World of Sports. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I got some history, on a few things. I can double.
I don't want to brag.
And if you don't know who Jim McKay is, Google him.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. What do you in the sports world? People, come on. You can't be living in the now. You got to learn some of your history if you're going to get into some shit like this.
By the way, the all on CBS, Sean McManus, that's Jim McKay's daddy. For those that don't know, but I'm just a bald-headed light skin that can't tan. But what do I know?
You do know your sports history. I will give you that. I
try.
But Dolphins and Chiefs in Frankfurt. Chiefs are Dolphins. The home team. So they got the Chiefs at -1.5, so they think it's going to be close.
That's cool. Dolphins.
Dolphins?
Yeah. Dolphins.
Who in the hell is guarding Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? Who's guarding them? Or let me rephrase that. Who's keeping up and staying up with them on that Kansas City defense?
Probably nobody.
Miami.
Man, we're really going to see Country K's prediction come true this year.
Well, here's the
2,000-yard Tyreek Hill is going to happen this year.
Here's the thing. Here's what people are not talking about, and we have talked about this, Mizzle and I, on our show. If you look at the numbers of Sam Howell and Patrick Mahomes this season, they're eerie similar. And Sam Howell has Eric Bieniemy as his offensive coordinator. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the Chiefs' record is what the record is. There's no question about that. You are what your record is, as Bill Parcells made famous. But with the exception of throwing to Kelsey and letting Pacheco run the ball, the Chiefs' offense has not been as fluid as we have known it to be without Eric Bieniemy. I mean, hell, Sam Howell just threw for 397 against the Eagles in a 7-point loss. So, yep. I'm just saying, if Eric Bieniemy is getting that out of Sam Howell, who, in my opinion, should have had one more year at Chapel Hill because he came out early, in my opinion. But now you have Bieniemy, and he's almost slinging for 400 yards.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I know Andy Reid is a good coach, has been for a long time. But when it comes to January, Andy Reid, do you really trust Charles Nagy to put Mahomes in a situation to thrive? Yes, I know as long as he has 87 out there, there is always that chance because 87 is 87. We know this point blank in the story. But like I said, this is not the same fluid Chiefs offense we have known under Bieniemy and Andy Reid.
Yep.
I mean, I honestly see no lies. And that does go to show because from the looks of things, it's kind of looking like Ron Rivera's on his way out in Washington.
Ooh. Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah. And if anything is kind of proven that he's worth being at least given a shot at head coach, what you just said right there, Doug, should be enough to at least give him a shot. And just when Ron Rivera is gone, and it's probably going to be sooner rather than later, the way things are kind of looking and the way people are talking. This, with Josh McDaniels being the first head coach being fired, there is a possibility that might not be the only head coach firing before the end of this season.
Oh yeah.
So if it happens, don't be surprised. My only question is, who is it going to be? And out of anybody, who's it going to be outside of Josh McDaniels? Who has the more likelier shot of probably being fired?
Brandon Staley.
Staley for sure, but
Brandon
also
Staley.
Ron Rivera is kind of on the chopping block at this point. So we'll see how it goes, and I respect Ron Rivera. I like him a lot. I like what he did at Carolina, and 85 Bears. Everybody remembers
California Golden Bear.
Yeah, so, but right now it may be. How old is Rivera?
I gotta say he's at least somewhere in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, me and Matt were talking about it earlier, and so Belichick is 71.
Correct.
Pete Carroll is 72.
Correct.
Ron Rivera is in his late 60s. He's in like
60,
top 5.
He's 61. Ron Rivera is
61. Sorry. So he's 61, and that's where we got into the conversation saying that Mike Tomlin definitely has at minimum 15 years left of being the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is becoming a young coach's league now. It is.
Unless the philosophy of how the Pittsburgh Steelers run things changes overnight, I don't see it happening. I just don't. I don't. They will stick to, as long as Mike Tomlin is having winning seasons.
Correct.
He will never leave the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I hear that, but also like I understand it's a young coaches league, but it's still the older coaches that's winning. Andy Reid got the dynasty going. He's an older coach. So right now they're the champs. They're the kings. So you know what I mean? And the older coach. So I feel like that mix might be a little better.
Who have been the coaches who have been supposedly the new geniuses who, in big situations, choke it off in the end? All of the fucking young coaches. All of the young coaches. The only reason why McVay won it is because he went up against another really young head coach.
I think
that was the only reason why.
I seriously think the Eagles would have beat the Chiefs last season if they didn't put in that new grass. Jalen was slipping all over the fucking field.
I still say to this day that was the dumbest fucking time to to just see how it works, to experiment.
Yeah, no.
Well, I tell you what, George.
You picked the fucking Super Bowl to experiment on a new surface.
I tell you what, George Toma, and if you don't know who George Toma is the turf king when it comes to Super Bowls, and he was pissed off about that. Like I said, if you don't know who George Toma is,
we were watching it at Mountain Mike. Shout out to Dave and everybody out there at Mountain Mike's. And that was one thing that we were looking at it going, this turf is, because you saw it the whole game. The Chiefs offensive line was sitting there going, oh yeah, we didn't give up a sack. There's an asterisk next to that because of the fact you saw it all game long. And it was even happening to some of the Chiefs players, Patrick Mahomes being one of them. But Patrick Mahomes is who he is, so, he can kind of adapt through that. But everybody really on the field could not get their footing. They were experimenting with different, sizes of the cleats and everything else like that, going, from quarter, what's gonna grip better, 3/4, half. They're going they couldn't figure it out because this this fucking breakaway turf that it seemed was slipperier than hell. It was thinner than shit. It just, why you would all of a sudden want to change up and experiment on the field? Probably the most important part of the entire thing.
Yep.
On a new surface. That's a preseason move. That's something you do in the preseason to see how that works. Not in the fucking final game of the year, the Super Bowl.
Because once you know,
all times.
Because once you know if the host city is not going to be in the playoffs, after their last home game, that's when they start getting the turf ready right then and there for the Super Bowl. And they do this months in advance if they know the home team is not going to play in the Super Bowl. Now, if the Raiders don't make the playoffs after the last home game, they're starting that night to prepare and getting the field ready for the Super Bowl. And the funny thing about it is the Cardinals and Raiders do it the same way because they wheel their turf in the stadium because they're both grass dome stadiums.
Well, Doug, let me ask you this though: why you think because Alliance Stadium is like such a big venue, you think they'll start on the grass that early? You don't think they'll have like other things in that venue? I'm asking because
the fact that they were holding out hope that the Raiders were actually going to make it to the Super Bowl before they decided to get started on this field is mind-boggling to me.
Now, to answer your question, Kay. To answer your question, Kay, they will have a specific turf for the Super Bowl because, as you know, there is the Pac-12 championship. Well, now the final Pac-12 championship game is going to be at Allegiant in December. Then you have the Las Vegas Bowl about mid-December, towards the end of December. Then you have the East-West Shrine game, but that'll be on field turf, as UNLV plays their college games on field turf. So that won't affect the grass field for the Las Vegas Bowl and the Pac-12 championship. But I'm pretty sure there'll be a specific sod, be it Bermuda or whatever grass sod that they use, that's specific for the Super Bowl. And I'm pretty sure after the last event, whatever that may be, that's when they'll pretty much start getting that turf ready for February the 11th of 2024 for Super Bowl 58. So I'm pretty sure once Allegiant Stadium knew for sure that they were getting the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure they already had figured out the plans of when they're going to get the turf ready. I don't doubt that.
That's just, anyways. So we're all picking the Dolphins. Okay, are you picking the Dolphins?
No, I'm picking the Chiefs.
At home.
I'm gonna be an anarchist on this one. I got no real reason to pick the Chiefs.
Other than just to be the opposing?
He just wants to be the lone wolf. That's all he wants to be, is the lone wolf. I dig it.
Because he'll be the one to be able to be like, I told you so. The only one to be able to say, I told you so.
Well, I mean, I think the only person right now I really can bank on right now is Pat. That's it. That's all I got. Pat and Chris Jones. I feel like Chris Jones probably have a solid game.
We'll see. We'll see who goes. Vikings and Falcons. Vikings, of course, unfortunately, having probably the worst luck out of all of the teams, losing not just their superstar wide receiver, but now losing their starting quarterback in Kirk Cousins. The Vikings 4-4. Falcons also 4-4. They're in Atlanta. The Lions got Atlanta up, -3.5. The over/under though is 37.5. So this is going to be an ugly game from start to finish. Who do we got?
Even though it was just said today that Drake London will not be playing for the Falcons, I think it'll be a heavy dose of Tyler Algier, and Bijan Robinson. I still like Atlanta just because of the fact that Taylor Heineke is starting and not Desmond Ridder.
Oh, I love Taylor Heineke. Honestly, I thought he should have been the one to take, or he would have been the one to take Washington to where they needed to go. They were winning with him, so I don't understand where the whole. I guess if you're not putting up the wow numbers, it doesn't matter if you're winning games. Just ask Tim Tebow. It does not matter if you're not putting up the stats. They don't give a shit what the win column looks like. It doesn't make any sense to me. What?
I said I do not mind the Gator getting a random shot.
I'm just saying, like he was winning games, but
I think I'll pick the Falcons.
Is Josh Dobbs starting?
No, it's who's starting? It's the kid from BYU. He's starting.
Jared, what's his last name? Allen or something.
Okay. I would pick the Falcons. If it was Josh Dobbs, I think I might pick the Vikings because he would have. I think he's going to play with something to prove. It's not going to be.
Jaren Hall is going to start for the Vikings.
Yeah, no, I'm going with the Falcons on this one. Okay.
Vikings.
Yeah, he can't, in all good consciousness, as a Bucs fan, pick the Falcons.
No, I'm picking them for the simple fact of he know the system. I feel like he's gonna really shock some people. Like he still got T.J. Hawkinson and Addison, and he still got weapons around. So he might shock some people. I feel like Taylor relying on the running backs means he ain't gonna really do too much. So,
well, maybe
we're gonna feed Kyle Pitts for fantasy purposes. Let's go. Let's do it.
Maybe just maybe Tyler Heineke will do something that Desmond Ridder did not do, which is use his all-world tight end by the name of Kyle Pitts and throw him the damn ball.
So I'm trying to give him the ball.
He got two tight ends, but he definitely don't have a wide receiver because Drake London's out for this game.
Yes, he is. He's not playing. Which is why
the whole smash mouth style football is what it's about. Play action to the tight end and nothing but your two-headed dragon. The way old school football was back in the day. That's what it's going to be for the Falcons against the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings defense is good enough, to be honest.
They're not so good against the run. I think they're 30th against the run, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Bijan is about to eat. Bevo.
Yep.
Cardinals and the Browns. In Cleveland.
Browns. I think Deshaun Watson is making his return. So, yeah, I'm going with the Browns.
I think even if Deshaun Watson wasn't playing, they'd probably beat the Cardinals. They are just cleaning house right now.
Yes, Clayton Tune getting the start for your Arizona Red.
Definitely getting ready to move on from Kyler Murray. We might have, to be honest, we might be seeing Kyler Murray in an MLB uniform next year.
Ooh.
I think. And not because I don't think Kyler Murray can play. I'm actually setting my Oklahoma hatred aside on this.
Take Jameis ass with you.
Yeah. Jameis Winston can go with him for sure. But I think
motherfuckers are so tired of him. The same side of him too.
I think Kyler Murray is at a point in time where the MLB season kind of goes in hand with what he likes to do. And what is that? Play video games. Play Call of Duty during the fall and winter season when Call of Duty always comes out with a new game. So if he goes to the MLB, season's already over by the time a new Call of Duty comes out. Then he'll have all the time in the world. Go ahead and play his video games during the off season. And then boom, right back into the MLB season, go into spring training and stuff like that, all happy, living life to the fullest, probably making 10 times more in the MLB than he would ever do in the NFL.
And
because the MLB has a ridiculous amount of money like that. But I think with the scrutiny that he gets as a quarterback in the NFL, I think he's kind of lost his what do you call it?
Desire?
Yeah, his love for the game. Like he doesn't want to play football anymore.
What makes you think that?
I don't. To be honest, I can't really explain how I mean. It's just something that visually, by what's happened, everything that I've been seeing.
What have you seen?
Again, with the video game shit that goes on, you know, with all of the
film habits,
his film habits and stuff like that, it just he doesn't say what.
Both of those were 2 seasons ago.
No, it's still happening now. They say he's so-called injured and stuff like that. To be completely honest with you, I don't think he's hurt.
He tore his ACL.
He tore his ACL. He tore his ACL. I understand that. But from when he did that to now, they had his timetable coming back a whole hell of a lot sooner than he has been so far. They had him coming back way early. Regardless, I'm talking about the timetable that they gave for him initially to now going, oh, it's day by day to, oh, yeah, no, he's out. I think he doesn't want to come back to play. And I think that's why Arizona's cleaning house, because they're getting ready to move on from him. Because they know it. Either if he goes to a different team and his love for the game and stuff like that resurfaces, then cool. That happens. He gets better. You know, that's all fine and dandy. I'm okay with that. But if that doesn't happen,
where he's at.
If he's going to come back into the NFL and stuff like that, it's not going to be in an Arizona Cardinal uniform. I know that for damn sure.
What makes you think that?
Oh, that relationship, especially with the leaks, with the contract, when they were going to extend him and stuff like that, that it had it in the contract that he had to have a certain amount of, you know, film, and they've kind of shit on his name a little bit.
Okay, so when they wrote that in his contract, I'm going to ask you a question. When they wrote that in his contract, did he sign it?
Yeah.
So my question is, he saw that
it got leaked. It got leaked that it was. It got leaked that it was in the.
I got that.
The fact that it got leaked, I understand, but what I'm telling you, Kay, is the fact that it got leaked pissed him off. So now he had to get into defensive mode, saying, "No, it wasn't. That's not in the contract. That's not in the contract." Because as soon as that came out, that almost confirmed to everybody what they initially thought. His work. It's not a matter of how good he is. It's a matter of the work ethic that he's putting into it. That's what everybody's been having a question about. And the fact that they had to put that he had to have a minimum requirement of hours of film time further proved to everybody that going, oh yeah, if they need to put that in his contract, then yeah, there's a problem there. They shouldn't have to put that in the contract. So then his PR team had a fucking, meltdown and went into overdrive, and they got it taken out of they got that language taken out of the contract because he was embarrassed by it. It leaked out. Everybody got wind of it, and everybody was questioning whether or not that his work ethic was there. His PR team, again, that's not good for the brand. That you got somebody who doesn't give a shit about wanting to play and stuff like that. That you have to put that in his contract, and that's like fucking page 1 of the contract. Not even like you lose it in the fine print or anything like that. That motherfucker's in bold print on page 1. So that's a red flag to people. So again, whether it is or isn't, you speculate all. I'm just saying what's actually known. That to me, if I have to put, like, dude, you need to have this much amount of film. You need to watch this amount of film.
Again,
the fact that I have to fucking put it in your contract and quote unquote babysit your ass for you to actually do what you need to do. You're a grown ass man. We're giving you millions of fucking dollars to play this game, and the least you can do is actually watch film. And you can't even fucking do that to the point where we have to put it in your contract. I'd move on from him too. I don't give a shit how good you are. You're a fucking headache.
Here's the problem. You're going off the moralities and things like that. And it's like, yeah, it's understood. Everybody's going to understand that because you're a professional. But at the exact same time, they also had the option of not giving him the contract as a fucking whole. How about that? How about just not giving him the contract?
They could have. Like, and they could have. They could have very much said, you know what, we don't want to deal with it. And
on Kyler's side, though, he also could have not signed the contract, even with that in there. They saw that when it was in there. I understand the embarrassment and stuff like that, but it's like at the same time.
But that's what I'm saying. Had it not gotten leaked, nothing would have happened. It would have been in the contract. Nobody would have known any different. It would have been fine. But since it got leaked,
he probably would have did what he's supposed to do, no issues. And again, it got leaked out. The embarrassment, that's the only thing you're going off of. The embarrassment, the moralities of the embarrassment, him being embarrassed. Okay. But again, why is that even an issue? Like, he still could have not signed that contract, even with that in there. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, the embarrassment not making him want to leave. Like, no, he could have not signed that contract by being disrespected. That's the thing, too. Like, all of these things could have happened, but that's the reason why I don't think they're going to separate, because all of that could have been just nipped in the bud when it happened in the initial setting, not based off an embarrassment and somebody leaking off this information. I don't think that's what it is. I think they're trying to clean house to try to start over and figure out a new Witt Collar without Kingsbury. They just getting rid of all the Kingsbury image. Like, people don't think about that. Like, you trying to start over with Collar. You signed Collar to this deal. All of these players that you got on this roster is Cliff Kingsbury's image.
And not
so
to
if
mention,
you're trying to start anew, you got to get rid of all these guys. You got to try to get rid of all of these players and start over. This is your guy. Collar's your guy. He got hurt. Have him sit down. Let him train and let him do his thing, and just play it out. And while you get rid of all of these guys.
And not to mention, Steve Keim was the GM when they drafted Kyler. Now, Monty Osenfort, he's the GM of the Cardinals.
And that's another thing. We see it time and time again. We can't say it doesn't happen because it's almost a guarantee. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but it's almost a guarantee. Every single time you get a new GM and the quarterback that they have is not the one that they drafted, or not the guy that they brought in, the veteran or whatever that they brought in, if that's not the guy that they brought in, they get replaced within the next year or two. That happens all the time. So now that new GM, somebody who didn't draft Kyler Murray, who knows about all of this shit, he's probably at the point where he's like, no, I'm not going to do what the old GM did. I'm not going to deal with this shit. A whole new regime could be a whole different outlook. Yeah, you're saying why did he sign the contract? And why did they give him the contract and do all? If they didn't, that was the old regime. New regime comes in going, no, what they did, fuck that. We're not dealing with this. You either get with it or get lost. You pick. If you want to keep sitting down and you don't want to play, you want to keep doing it, you want to go to another team, fine, you can go and do that. But if you want to actually sit here, win games,
you assume that's what's happening. They could pacify his shit as well. You don't really know what's going on. Like that's what I said. Until Kyler's out of the building, you really don't know unless you're right. I'm just saying, like,
and you're right. You're right, and that's why I leave room for. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd leave room for those situations where it doesn't happen that way, because again, like that happens. But like I said, when you go back and kind of look at patterns and how things are done in the NFL, that happens a lot of the time more than it doesn't. Now, again, this could be one of those situations. This could be. I agree with you. This could be one of those situations where they're like, you know what? Get rid of everything that was Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler, you're still our guy, but we're going to build around you and stuff like that this way. You know, kind of mend that relationship and everything. It could very well go that way. It can 100% go that way. The number one pick could be, you know, Marvin Harrison Jr. to be a weapon for Kyler Murray. You know, for all we know. So it's just
the quarterback for USC say if he gets drafted by the Cardinals, he's going to stay at USC.
If Caleb Williams does not like the situation of who's the number one pick, he said he would go back to USC. He did say that, yes.
So that's kind of that's the situation you're dealing with. You got guys that don't want to be there. They're trying to pull an Eli Manning.
Exactly.
So your biggest thing right now is you got to try to figure out the best situation for you. And right now, your best situation is Kyler. If you think it's Kyler as bad as you think he is, draft how you supposed to draft. If Kyler bad, he gonna be bad, and then you'll be able to get another draft pick, and then be able to get rid of Kyler after one season. But right now ain't the time for that. That's why I said it's like the way it looks right now. It looks like they're trying to get rid of.
You know that the guy that you want doesn't want to be a part of your team.
I don't necessarily
then draft somebody who will and try again next year.
I don't necessarily think they want him. To be honest with you, I think Buddy just all hype. Like I said, I've been seeing a lot of stuff since Corey said that. I've been really looking about all these other quarterbacks that's in the NCAA, and a lot of these guys is pretty solid. So I don't know if they want him. To be honest with you,
I think it should be Penix Jr.
It's supposed to be a quarterback-heavy draft going into 2024, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Ojeda said that when he was on your guys' show earlier in the broadcast. Because I mean, this is his peak season, you know, scouting across the country and looking at the possible talents that might be coming to Detroit in the draft in 2024. So it's possible. Yeah. It's supposed to be a very heavy quarterback draft going into 2024 as opposed to last year.
But here's my question. How much of it is hype and how much of it is reality? Because I've seen the list that they put out for the potential QBs that are going to be coming out in the 2024 draft.
Well,
and
look at it.
To be completely honest, I see maybe two out of that entire list. This entire list is no different than any other that has come before it. There's going to be one or two guys that are actually really good at the top of the list. They should be there. And then after that, there's a very deep fucking fall off. That's what I see when I look at this list. People put up Drake May. I'm sorry. What about him exactly is supposed to be elite? What he plays for an ACC school, and it's not like
a basketball school.
Yeah, and it's not like, again, we're talking about North Carolina being in fucking college football playoff contention. So it's like, what are we really talking about here? Why aren't we talking about the people who actually? Why is Penix Jr. at Washington getting no fucking love from the national media?
Because he's playing in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, tough shit. Sometimes the better player is somewhere else.
Hey,
it's just
you
like
you ain't gonna tell me that. I know that.
And again, Caleb. Look, I'm not trying to like continuously shit on Caleb Williams here. I'm literally trying to understand where the hype is coming from. What storyline, what narrative is really trying to be made here? Like what is going on and again, by no means am I saying I'm like an expert scout. I am not on Mr. Ojeda's level. I am not on that level. I can only comment on what I see. And what I see on a daily basis.
You can't beat Utah.
Okay. Yeah, come on. You can't beat fucking Utah. He's not in the conversation for college football playoff. He's not even sniffing the fucking national championship. He didn't even sniff the national championship after winning the Heisman last year.
Well, heck, if they lose tomorrow to Washington at the Coliseum,
which I think they're going to. I think Washington's going to wax the floor.
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
I think Penix Jr. is going to actually have a game to where at the end of that game, he's going to go and look at the camera and go, "I'm here. I'm here. I'm him. Not him. I'm him.
Vote for me.
Vote for me. I'll see y'all in New York." I think he has more potential to be something like. Let me get Caleb Williams. Like, do I think he could be a starter somewhere day one for sure? Obviously he's that type of capability.
Oh yeah, the talent is there. You can't deny that. He is a talented individual.
Yeah, but there's a lot of talented individuals that don't make it. That don't end up living up to the hype. That don't end up, living up to the expectation that everybody set on them before they ever fucking step on the field. It just because again, they say it all the time. The transition from college to the NFL is vastly different. Well, if you know that it's vastly different, why automatically assume that these 20 to 22-year-old kids coming out of college are going to be able to figure it out like that? There's some that do. There's but it's a very look at the reality. It's a super, super small number. The actual number of players that actually come out, live up to the hype and everything else like that is real fucking small. So it's that's why I think it's kind of unfair to give these players those tags and everything else like that, because then it puts on an almost unrealistic expectation on somebody. And now when they're not living up to those expectations, it fucks with them mentally. Now they're going, "Oh shit," and then that's where the career really goes downhill. And then you're labeled, biggest bust, or person who we thought was going to be, the next GOAT, and ended up shafting. There's a lot of quarterbacks and players for that matter that you can go back to that everybody said generational talent. Then they get to the league and it ain't there. And we said it before. Let's give everybody a little bit of a shot, a couple of years in the NFL before we start labeling them as anything. If Patrick Mahomes was really the GOAT in everybody's eyes right off the bat, he wouldn't have gone where he went in the draft. He would have been the number 1 overall pick. But that's not how it went down.
I think the Chicago Bears are regretting that now.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears will always and forever regret that decision. But again, that's just the reality of things. Nobody fucking knows. All these, picks that you think are first rounders and stuff like that, well, why are third rounders, fourth rounders, fifth rounders outperforming them? Your scouting department missed something.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the gems that you find in 3, 4, and 5 as opposed to 1 and 2. I mean, not to sound like a homer, but I mean, you find a Fred Warner in round 3. You find a George Kittle in round 5. You find an Elijah Mitchell in round 7. I mean,
Ufonga in round 5.
You of course, you know about what Purdy, where he's at in round freaking the last pick of the draft. So I mean, it's always about. I think day 2 and day 3 of the draft is the most important days because that's where you find your depth. That's where you find your diamonds in the rough. That's where you find the uncut gems, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
for sure.
I mean, yes, you always want to hit on your first round and second round picks because that's where the supposed talent and the best of the best is at. But you find your depth and you find your unknown stars in the later rounds.
Even first rounders are gambles, people.
Yeah. I mean, the whole draft is a crapshoot without question.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's just, but it's just, you know, if you can hit on the late round draft picks, it helps balances out just in case you do miss.
Your team's living pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
If you're hitting on the late round picks. Rams, Packers. Speaking of somebody who doesn't have and doesn't hit on picks, the Rams. Yep, Rams, Packers. Who we got? In Green Bay, they got Green Bay -3 with an over-under 38.5. Yikes.
Of course, the Niner in me would love for the Packers to beat the Rams. I just don't know if the Packers have enough to beat the Rams. So I might need to wash my mouth out with mouthwash. I'm going to take the division rival over the Packers.
You mean the Rams?
But of course, in my heart of hearts, I want Green Bay to beat the Rams.
I think, and as much as I understand where you're coming from on that. It's still, and I'm a fucking historical guy. I love looking at history and how things like the stats of history, how everything looks. Really, regardless of how good or bad the Green Bay Packers are, it's always, always, always tough to win at Lambeau.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Historically, it has always been that way.
Yes, it is.
Fucking easy to win at Lambeau Field. And the Rams have never really been good at being, or playing outdoors. Without playing on turf indoors.
Well, their quarterback was in Detroit.
I mean, their quarterback was in Detroit, but even Ford Field was indoors.
And Puka is
Detroit, Detroit City and stuff like that. Yeah, I understand like the terrain, but actually the field itself, that's an indoor turf field.
Very true. But hey, look.
So when we're talking about playing at Lambeau outdoors in the fall, again, I know the Packers are what they are. It's just super fucking tough, and that you got to account. That's probably the reason why they had the line where it is with Green Bay at 3 or at -3, because the Rams on paper have more than enough to beat the Packers, but because the Rams are so shitty outdoors, and regardless of how good or bad the Packers are, it's tough to win at Lambeau. That's why the line is where it is. And I think it's reasonable because, again, the Rams haven't been good necessarily. On paper, yes, they could beat the Packers, but I'm not. I think I'm with the line on this one. I think I'm taking the Packers to beat the Rams. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be by a whole hell of a lot. It's going to be a pretty close game, I think. But I think the Packers beat the Rams. Commanders and Patriots in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough.
No Kendrick Bourne, out for the season with a torn ACL.
Man, I like Kendrick Bourne.
Still no signs of Matthew Judon making his return. And plus, like I said, Sam Howell just came off throwing for 397 against the Eagles. What in the heck is he going to do to the freaking Patriots?
I agree with you, but they still have New England at -2.5.
I know, but it's like, what is giving that distinction for the Patriots to even be at 2.5?
That's why I'm trying to figure, because I'm looking at it right here. They're 1-3 at home. They haven't been good at all at home this year. Who knows? Maybe they're looking at the historical aspect of it too. I mean, it's not necessarily easy to win in Foxborough either. And maybe Vegas hasn't necessarily, looked so much into it that they necessarily believe in Sam Howell all that much. They believe a little bit more in Belichick than they do in Sam Howell and Bieniemy. That could be where the sway and the favoritism is going to.
Well, how are you going to believe him? But how are you going to believe in Belichick when he has no Brady? I mean, do we have to go over this again?
I haven't. So I want to cross that line and say you are 100% correct. Bill Belichick wouldn't have made his name without Tom Brady. But
because if we're going to go by the numbers, and this is just facts. When number 12 is not his quarterback, he is a career under 500 head coach. So people, there's an article on Fox Sports that is called. Hold on, and let me find it for you. There's an article on Fox Sports that says, and its title is "The Patriot Way a Myth?" Which, of course, Colin Cowherd gives his take. But here's the thing: the only reason neither do I, but the only reason why the Patriot Way worked was because of number 12. That's where the Patriot Way came from. That's where the Patriot Way came from. And again, as you can clearly see in the light of day, people kept talking about, was it the system or was it the quarterback? And I said, the minute that Tom Brady put on Country K's beloved pewter in Tampa, Florida, and went to the pirate ship to fire the cannons, and when they won Super Bowl double nickel in their home stadium against the Chiefs, keeping Mahomes out the end zone, and we saw what Belichick has done since Brady has left the Minutemen in Foxborough, you can clearly see that the system was number 12. It's hard to argue that fact because, I mean, it's like some of the things that Belichick has been known for. It's seemed to pass him by. Now, he's always been a good defensive coordinator. There's no question about that. There's no arguing that. But now he is 71. He's been doing it for a long time. The question might have to be asked: is the games finally starting to pass by Belichick? We don't know. Because right now they're 2-5 on the season?
2-6.
2-6, okay. And that second win had to be one of the luckiest, every squirrel finds their nut win because, to beat the Bills the way that they did in dramatic fashion. Otherwise, they'd be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So, and I said,
yeah, but is Caleb Williams enough to revitalize Bill Belichick's career?
I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I also said the minute Brady left, I said, do not be surprised if the Patriots go back to sucking again. Because before Brady got there, who were the New England Patriots? They're a team that was mainly mediocre, with every now and then having a dream season every now and again.
Well, I think
all the National Guard, because he needs some help. That's who the Patriots.
Call the National Guard.
We are killing the Patriots.
So here's what I was thinking. I before Belichick got there, before he pulled the head coach for the Jets to now head coach of the, he taught Josh McDaniels well in the art of finessing what everybody thinks you're gonna. The definition of don't let them know your next move. Um, Now he had before Brady got there, a guy named Drew Bledsoe.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying Drew Bledsoe was a Hall of Fame quarterback, but Drew Bledsoe was a pretty damn good one.
No, Drew Bledsoe put up some game
was one of the reasons why the New England Patriots were starting to come out of the gutter.
Oh, agreed. He got them to Super Bowl 31 without question. In his third, you saw the promise in his rookie season in '93. Then in '94, led them to the playoffs. Then in '96, got them to the Super Bowl against the Packers. Actually had a lead in the game against the Packers, and then Favre was Favre, and Reggie White took the game over, and there you go. And then here comes Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll doesn't do so good. Pete Carroll leaves. In comes Belichick. They go 5-11, of course. Mo Lewis lays them out. We know what happens. But then Drew comes back in his swan song in New England and helps and plays well in the AFC title game after Brady hurts his ankle. And Bledsoe gets them to Super Bowl 36, and we know what happens from there. Then it goes to the Bills. Had a pretty good couple of seasons with the Bills, then struggles, then finishes off with the Cowboys under Bill Parcells, which eventually led to the Tony Romo era. So Bledsoe, a very distinguished career. Hall of Fame, not so much, but a very distinguished career. But he was also one of those guys that did do the number one rule that you're not supposed to do in quarterbacking, which is do the Eli Manning, which is pat the damn ball. But Drew Bledsoe definitely was a patter of the football.
Oh, 100%. But for here, I think I'm going to go with Commanders. I think W said the Commanders. Kay, did you say Commanders too, or did you go Patriots with this one?
Well, I wanted to make my last pick. I was gonna pick the Packers. I mean, I was talking shit for the Rams and shit, but I wanted to pick the Packers anyway. But I also was gonna pick the Patriots on this one.
He definitely likes being the lone wolf for sure.
That's what it seems like at this point.
The Patriots were easy. Mac Jones play really well, and I think they're gonna play off of that.
Interesting take.
We'll see.
The way they,
you know what? And like I wouldn't be fucking surprised with it because Kay has a knack for that shit.
Plus, there was a
like there like so we've kind of distinguished on this show. Like when I'm right, like it's pretty cool, but I'm more wrong than I am right. Kay is a lot more right than he is wrong. It's more of one of those happy days when we're like, ha ha ha.
Kay
when Kay doesn't get it right.
Kay definitely has the je ne sais quoi when it comes to making his picks.
Yeah,
and he also has that. And he also has that je ne sais quoi when he's relieving his passion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you'll see it. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of that in the football season. Well, Josh is gonna see a lot of it. He's gonna hear a lot of me talking caca on the field. So.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious. And I'm gonna be that guy trying to hold him back, laughing my ass off. Going, you got it. It's good. You got it.
I mean, you ain't gotta hold me back because I don't do those things to try to go overboard. I talk trash to like make people.
No, I'm not like trying to. Like, I'm trying to protect them from you.
Yeah, no. Again, there's no me. I don't even. It'll never gets to that point. Like I said, I be talking trash. I'm gonna make somebody laugh. Like I'm going. I don't know. Like it's not necessarily belittling, but kind of in a way. You know what I mean?
It gets more to a. Was it the
like I'm talking noise. Like if I had to put an aspect which I don't like to use this guy, but I use Ray Lewis in a sense. Like how he talked trash on the field.
Makes sense. Oh shit. Give me 1 second. Plug this in. Because this is about to die. or not my phone, but the goddamn laptop. Got everything on here.
No, I'm worse.
The Bears versus the Saints.
Bears.
This is a disgusting game if I ever fucking saw one.
Kay, why are you taking the Bears? I'm curious.
Well, they just got Montrez Sweat.
Yeah, Montez Sweat is which was quite shocking to me. But
I thought he was going to be a Niner.
With defensive guys, you can put him in, and he's a pass rusher, so you can just throw him in the game.
You can absolutely.
He might be a difference maker for sure. And on top of that, Kay definitely has or feels some sort of way for the division rival New Orleans Saints.
Of course.
So
yeah, this is a team I for sure have no disagreeing that that's the reason why I picked those guys.
Hey, trust me, I get it.
Derek Carr still overthrowing receivers. Good to see.
Hey, look, continue.
I'm good.
I don't mind this shit. Continue doing what you do, Derek. Do what you do. It's not like you got receivers over there anyway.
No. It's kind of over for the Saints right now. They got a whole bunch.
He got a guy that only know 2 routes for real. He got a slant and then he got an out. And he just learned the out this year.
So he just learned the out this year.
Are you talking about Olave?
No, Thomas.
He's talking about Michael Thomas.
Oh, the guy that hasn't played for 2 years, that guy?
Slant King.
3. Yes.
Well, close enough.
But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Bears too, actually. You actually just kind of sold me with the Montez Sweat pickup. Because I don't feel like the Saints have an answer for him. The Saints picked a bad week to fucking pick the Bears. Or to have the Bears on their schedule. Because Montez Sweat is about to, he's about to let out some anger against, Derek Carr this week.
Well, I thought Badger was going to beat them boys anyway, so.
Honey Badger's still playing?
Yeah. Fields is not bad.
Tyrann Mathieu's still playing? Holy fuck. I thought he was done. I thought he retired.
Nah, as of right now, Justin Fields is still doubtful.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't know. You what? You don't knock that shit off.
I do need a banner. You're right.
Dub, who you got?
Normally the Saints do good at home.
They're 1-2 at home.
I know that. But I'll be the lone wolf. I think this is where you get the decent Derek Carr, but I'm picking New Orleans to win, even though
the Bears are also 1-3 away. So
something has to
give.
Something has to give in this game.
New Orleans are favored -8. Over under is 41.5.
But I am a huge Dante Foreman fan. I love the way he runs the ball. If he can get established, if he can get established with the run, that could be a problem for the Saints defense. Because obviously, if you watch the game, the last time they played in the Dome, there was lanes for Travis Etienne and Sunshine, Mr. Lawrence, for them to just run all over the place. But if you're bagging it, if you can
Bears
run
are gonna.
If I'm the Bears, I would run the cleans. I would run the quick slants and try to get Tyrann Mathieu one-on-one with DJ Moore, because if you watch the game against the Jaguars, to where Christian Kirk ran that long touchdown, he had the Honey Badger on him, and the Honey Badger's not the same Honey Badger we've come to know and love. So if you get one-on-one with DJ Moore, if I'm bagging it, throw the quick slant, because it'll be there all day. But the DJ Moore Marcus Lattimore match, I am very intrigued to seeing in this game for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you already. I'm gonna just go ahead and let you know what's about to happen. DJ Moore is going to little boy Lattimore to the point where Lattimore is going to try to hurt him, and he's going to fight him, and it's going to turn into Florida Gator football, where they just out there focusing on fighting instead of playing and winning the football
shout
game.
Out to the throw hater.
Here's the thing. This has happened with the Saints and Bears getting into fistfights because it happened at Soldier Field a few years back. So K's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
Well, Lattimore's going to be upset that he's getting, used and abused out there.
That's exactly
that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. If that happens, I swear to God, if that happens, I'm literally going to. I'm timing this right. I see exactly where we're at. I'll put that up, have that just in case it does happen. Put that straight up going, yep. Kay knew his ass was going to be causing trouble.
Well, yeah, because I said it when he played us. That's what he does. Marshawn Lattimore don't be playing no football. He try to fight. Marshawn
Lattimore and Mike Evans have one of the fun rivalries.
Well, yeah, it's not really a rivalry. It's a babysitting, and you guys are just witnessing what's supposed to happen. It's a babysitting.
Mike Evans. I don't know why Lattimore keeps coming back. Mike Evans always, every time, puts Lattimore on his ass. Every single time they encounter each other. Evans
like
just
I said, it's a babysitting from your older cousin. That's what that is. It's a babysitting from your older cousin when you're young. That's all that.
That's that little Chihuahua syndrome, and I am saying that because Lattimore is smaller, and just keeps coming back for more.
Maybe he likes it.
Keeps fighting.
Maybe he likes it.
It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog, Mike Evans. All right.
I'm telling you, Marshawn Lattimore is that mean. You thinking I'm fighting just to, he was like, what did he say? He said, you thinking I'm out here just fighting because because I'm trying to save the day. He said, motherfucker, I'm out here because I like to fight. Some shit like that. It's some shit like that.
It's kind of like Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah, exactly.
Always gets his ass whooped, but just keeps talking.
Him and Andre Johnson. Oh, that was fantastic. Andre
Johnson whooped his ass.
Andre Johnson just going in ham. Of course, Deion and Andre Rising in the Georgia Dome.
It's like you picked the wrong one. You don't understand who Andre Johnson is. Why the fuck are you doing this, Cortland?
I think the better one was Deion and Jerry.
In practice?
Yeah, but they didn't like.
No, they fought in the game. It was Dallas versus San Francisco.
Was it like throwing fists? Like they were punching each other in the face?
Yeah, no, they were throwing them.
I'm gonna need to look that up because that would be entertaining as shit. Just thinking about it.
I don't want to
Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice just fighting each other. It's funny.
I mean, you brought it up, and I was like, you know what I mean?
Those rivalries, but see, those rivalries went both ways. Like Jerry got the best of Deion got the best of Jerry. Mike Evans and Lattimore, there's no contest there. Mike Evans is always getting the best of Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, yeah.
And Cortland Finnegan always got his ass whooped.
They had Drew Brees for a long period of time, so I was happy Mike Evans taking the win on the fisticuffs. Now I'm happy to be he's just whooping your ass all the way around now. Drew is gone. We had Tom. We was whooping y'all ass.
I think they're still trying to get Drew to come back.
Man, I don't know.
Baltimore versus Seattle. In Baltimore, they got the Ravens -6. The over/under 44.5. Lamar Jackson coming off a really solid performance last week. But the Seahawks have also been sneakily good. Geno Smith, my God, when did he become Superman all of a sudden? God damn, Geno Smith is balling.
He's been balling because of Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker been balling too.
Yes.
Good run attack to be able to bounce that out.
He has already carried the ball 117 times this year.
Well, when he got drafted by the Seahawks, and I watched him in Michigan State doing what he does, and the minute the Seahawks drafted, I said, "Damn it, I don't want to see that twice a year. I don't." I'm like, damn it.
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at that. I'm going like, these motherfuckers did not just fuck around and get Beast Mode 2.0. They did not just fuck around and do that right now. He hasn't gotten to that point yet, but he's well on his fucking way.
Well, he's shown flashes.
Good.
I mean, he has shown. I go back to that game last year against the Chargers. Was almost kind of like his coming out party. Be like, I am here, and I am ready to play, and carry the load on this offense. Acknowledge me. Man runs hard. And plus his pad level is so doggone. I know he's tough to tackle as it is anyway, which does not help if you're an opposing defense. And just plus, he's almost like Marshawn. He runs looking for contact, which of course, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, that's where you normally get got in the run game because you're so battered and tired out from getting hit in the first three quarters. Yep. So, even with that said,
this is a pretty fucking even match too. 5-2, 6-2.
It really is.
Seahawks are 2-1. Seahawks are 2-1 away, and the Ravens are 2-1 at home. Like, fuck, this is like both the birds here are doing good things.
They are.
This might be the most entertaining matchup out of the morning bunch this weekend. Say what?
The only bird that's fucked up is the Cardinal.
All right. They could have had they could have had all four, but no. One of them had to fuck up and break a wing. With this one, I'm kind of like you, Dub. I as the 49er fan in me wants to see the Seahawks lose.
Of course,
division rival and all.
And plus, they're in first place by a half game because they got one less loss. So we need them to lose because if they do that, then technically,
I like Gino a whole hell of a lot more than I like fucking Russ. But dude, this is fucking tough.
Well, I'll give my pick. Baltimore wins on a Justin Tucker walk-off.
I'm okay with that, actually. Anytime I can give my guy Justin Tucker some fucking love, that'll work. I don't know, man. This one's tough. I think I know where K is going to go, but...
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't think so?
Who you think I'm picking?
I do.
Who you think I'm picking?
I think you're picking the Seahawks. I think you're going to pick the Seahawks.
Nope. LJ Young let out of Pompano. Wrong again. LJ Young out of Pompano. That's what I'm picking. The Ravens defense has been playing really well. Like people have not been really taking notice. Like they've been really out there kind of balling. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm picking the Ravens because their defense has been playing really well. I understand the Seahawks have the record that they have, but I feel like the Seahawks is going to get challenged with Lamar's true ability to run. Like Geno he's decent. He's a decent scrambler, but he ain't no fucking Lamar. So
there really nobody is. You know,
so they have not for Lamar. So you go out there and deal with Lamar.
Regardless of what Corey Hammond would say about fucking Daniel Jones being, you know, the white Lamar Jackson. I did.
Which is true.
What the fuck ever. There's nobody like Lamar. Daniel Jones gets fucking sniped by the turf line.
He's not saying that. That's like calling Brian Scalabrine the white mamba. They not calling him Kobe Bryant.
Oh no, man. And for him, if he's just talking basic, like pure rushing, like no, it's not even. I don't think it's close. And some of it is like I don't see Daniel Jones
That's not
putting the
Yeah, he
jukes
thinks
and
so.
spin moves and fucking
you
hurdling and
thinking
all. I
too.
don't see him
You're
doing any of
thinking
that
way
shit.
too deep in that. You thinking way too deep into that. Way too deep. Because think about it. Like, be realistic. And you got to think about it with the way Corey thinks, kind of. I can't go into that full depth because he got his mind of his own. You know what I'm saying? So based off of the interactions we had with Corey, I'm going to just kind of like try to piece together some of the rationale. So I will say this. Based off of the white quarterbacks that have scrambled or could scramble, none of them shaking no fucking body. So out of all of them, Daniel Jones sets out apart and is like Lamar Jackson to all of these white quarterbacks.
Oh, Fred Flintstone.
So that's what I'm assuming Corey means by the white Lamar Jackson, which makes perfect sense to me.
That's funny.
But I gotta go catch Ross before they close to try to find you some goddamn cleats, and I only got 30 minutes now.
Shit. Okay. Let's rapid fire this then. Buccaneers and Texans. Okay, I know where you're going. To be honest, you know what? No, I'm going with the Texans.
I
Both
would
3-4,
pick.
both 2-1.
I would.
I know
I
for sure we gonna win.
I would have picked Houston, but Dameon Pierce is not playing. So with that said, Mike Evans back in this place where he went to college at in the state of Texas. I think he'll have a big day. I think the Bucs bounce back and get the win in Houston. But I like where Houston is trending. They're trending upward. But not having Dameon Pierce is going to be huge for the run game or lack thereof for the Texans.
So can I add
Colts,
on top
Panthers.
of that? Let's add on top of
go
that.
ahead.
Baker's playing at home. The the Texans Rangers are in the World Series.
They won the World Series. They won it.
Won the World Series, and Baker's a fan of that team. He's back home.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm picking the Bucs winning big. Winning big.
Colts, Panthers. I'm shit. Yeah, you know what? I like Uncle Rico. I'll go with the Colts.
I think Frank Wright is looking forward to seeing his old team. And I think Gardner Minshew will be in a giving mood. I think the Panthers get their second straight win.
Oof, that's tough. It's a tough pick
because
I see that. I see where you're going with that. They play really well. The Tyler played really well last week. Defense, came through. Didn't the Colts win last week too? Or they played really well?
The Colts lost to the Saints 38-27.
Oh, that's right. Okay, they played. It was like a comeback where they tried to come back and win. It was something like that, right? Because the Saints jumped out.
I didn't watch too much of that game, to be honest.
I didn't. I was kind of following along on ESPN, just checking up the scores and stuff.
I don't
know.
Colts?
I don't know. I'll just pick. I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna pick the Colts. I'm gonna go with Uncle Rico and them. I think they're gonna figure this one out.
That was kind of. I don't know why that one's tough, but it is. The Raiders and the Giants. Good God. Well, I mean, I know it's the Giants. The Raiders have lost everybody. They're just down in the shits right now. Yeah, I'm going with the Giants.
So we know where you Niner fans are, and so I'm gonna just go ahead and say Raiders on this game. I mean, we can move on.
No,
so y'all ain't
I don't. I think every team has their, to quote Ronald Wilson Reagan, win-win for the Kipper. And I think this is the Raiders win one for the Kipper. And plus, Antonio Pierce would love nothing more than to get his first win as interim head coach against the team he won the Super Bowl with. So I say the Raiders win on a Dan Carlson last-second field goal.
Okay. The Cowboys and the Eagles in Philadelphia. So if you're a Cowboys fan, steer fucking clear of Lincoln Financial Field for all four quarters, if not the entirety of the season.
Or don't be stupid. Do not desecrate the Rocky Balboa statue.
Yes, don't touch Rocky.
Put y'all jersey on there. Put it on there. Fuck that. Let's see what happens. Test it. Cowboys fans, y'all bad. Nah, they bold. They talking crazy again. They just blew somebody out last week. They talking crazy. Like, nah, do it. Put the jersey on there and see what happens. See if y'all don't get the same treatment every team that don't got, then they'll put the jersey on there. Y'all since y'all so damn bad. Cowboys.
I think DeAndre Swift has a big day. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Definitely picking the Eagles, and not because my wife told me to, but because I thoroughly hate the fucking Cowboys.
That's the main reason. F the Cowboys. That's the main reason. Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see. Bills versus the Bengals. In Cincinnati.
This is normally where the Cincinnati Bengals start to peak. I see that continuing. Jamar Chase goes off big and has a big game. Bengals.
God, I hope so. For fantasy purposes, I hope so.
You and me both.
I have him and Joey B starting this week. Because I figured if nonetheless it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
You know, Bills don't have a fucking run game, so we know they're not going to be doing any of that.
They just got Leonard Fournette.
If they're going to be running, it's going to be with Josh Allen. That's it. I'm thinking it's going to be a bit of a shootout, and they got Cincinnati at the line at -2.5, but the over/under is 50.5. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty high scoring game. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going with the Bengals. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go with the Bengals here.
So Leonard Fournette looks.
I don't think he's not on the roster yet.
I understand that, but I'm saying this: he right now looks in great shape right now. In comparison to last season when he was with us, he looks in great shape right now. So granted, not going to use him this week, things like that, but in the future, when they do use him and implement him, I think he's going to play really well for them. In the future. I mean, I'm picking the Bengals, but I'm just saying, just that little point. I agree. They don't have a run game thus far, but I feel like when they get him implemented, just because of the way he looks right now, he looks like he's in shape. He looks like he's ready to go. You know what I mean? So, thus forward, I think he might be a good piece for them.
It might be what they were missing in the run game. So we'll see. Monday Night Football, Chargers and the Jets in New York, or East Rutherford, New Jersey.
What the fuck?
They got the LA Chargers -3.5, over under being 40.5. Who do we got?
This is the WTF Monday night game. For sure. When you said that was my first reaction. I tried to hit mute and it didn't work. That was my first reaction. This cannot be Monday Night Football.
Monday nights are starting to look like Thursday nights lately, man.
Man, that shit should be
awful fucking matchups. And you know what? When they made this matchup, they were probably like, again with the impression, Justin Herbert versus Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
Monday Night Football.
Exactly what it was.
But they ain't been flexing shit. What's the what's the problem? Why have they not been flexing things out?
Well, I mean, that's just.
Well, if you were to flex that, if you were to flex it out, which game would you put as a Sunday night game? Cowboys Eagles.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
rivalry game. Yeah, at minimum the Sunday night game. Fuck.
You would have went to Monday, and then you could have pushed that Bengals game to fucking Sunday night.
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday night.
The Bengals is.
But that's all right. Well, then that's perfect. Then you see what I'm saying? I forgot that is the last.
Take the Jets and Chargers,
and flex them with the Cowboys Eagles game.
They should do that. They should 100% do that. That's going to be a much more entertaining game.
Like that would have been that should have been the idea a couple weeks ago, like a few weeks ago. You know what I mean?
That should have been done 48 seconds into the first quarter of week 1.
No, we ain't gonna do all that. No, that's fucked up.
As soon as they did that, they should have been like, all right, any primetime games we had the Jets in, flex them out. Flex them out. Get them out. He's not there anymore. That was wild. That was such a wild scene.
You give praise to Zach Wilson and you take it back very quickly in the same episode. In the same goddamn
I'm not taking it back. I'm just saying in the moment, like in the moment, they should have just think about that though. Wasn't that so fucking wild? It's 9/11, comes out with the American flag. Lights shining bright. Everybody's filled with anticipation. You see all the Jets fans overjoyed with hope that they haven't had in over 40 fucking years. And just 48 seconds into the first quarter.
Type of moment. So, like, not that fast, but like, something bad always happens in those type of moments. Like, when they build it up.
Yeah, but this is pinnacle. This is the pinnacle of. Well, we thought like shit does always go bad for the Jets, but this is the pinnacle of what. Because again, the defense is really good. Yeah, the defense is really good, but the offense, my God, like that's what's been, and even Aaron Rodgers said it. The offensive line needs work. What ended up getting him hurt? The offense. You know what? That's what I think it was. He was talking so much shit about the offensive line during the preseason and the offseason and everything else like that, even though he wasn't at fucking practice, because that's their fault. I think they went, you know what? We're gonna let him in.
I mean,
we're gonna make it look we're gonna make it look like it was an accident. We're gonna let him in. See what happens.
I don't think that's what it was. One for two reasons.
And I think Dwayne Brown let him come off the edge all 3 of those times. Like 3. Barely even fucking touched him. He looked like Louis from Remember the Titans. Just
he got death threats.
Let him go
for like the next 2 months. He got death threats for the next 2 months. So I don't think that was the thought process for him. I mean,
that's why I'm saying he made it look like it.
No, the football guy.
You act like he wasn't. Hold on, you don't think he was getting death threats and stuff like that from people saying you need to do your fucking job better? After that, regardless of whether he did it on purpose or not, he was going to be getting those letters regardless. We know how Jets fans are.
Yeah, because he got Aaron Rodgers hurt and he was supposed to save their franchise. That was the point. If it would have been Zach Wilson, they wouldn't have said shit. They're like, all right, next quarterback up. Like they wouldn't at that point. They give a fuck about Zach Wilson.
Now they might care. Now they might care. So, we'll see.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, as far as this game, though, I'll pick the Chargers. Oh, never mind. Hold on. I'm gonna pick the Jets. I'm gonna pick the Jets. So the Chargers are ass.
I don't know who I was. I think I was talking to my brother, and I was saying the Chargers are like Justin Herbert is just basically another younger, glorified version of Phillip Rivers. Yeah, all the stats in the world, but where's he going?
That's not fair. He ain't got no receivers.
Well, give him some receivers and let's see what happens.
Wow,
you gave Phillip Rivers good receivers back in his day, and they still did nothing. He had Antonio Gates for most of his career, and he still did nothing.
He had Chris. I mean, he had receivers, but at the same time, like I said, it's very hard to draft quality receivers in the middle of the pack. That's kind of they had a lot of issues they got to fill gaps for. Just other.
I think the Chargers had a chance to get Addison and one of these other young receivers that came out of there. I think they had a chance to do that and they didn't.
I mean,
I think they went defense. And did they go defense in their first pick? I think they did.
I'm not sure, but I'm finna go catch this dang old score. So I'm finna get on up on
it. So, again, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on this lovely Friday evening. Dub, again, my friend, I appreciate you always. So what up?
Dub ain't make his pick.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, I'm picking. I got the Jets. Nick Folk wins it on a field goal.
Nick Folk, you got a lot of field goal walk-off victories, huh?
Yes, I do. This week, it's the golden toe.
A lot of walk-off wins today for Dub. And once again, Mizzle, appreciate him for being on. No, he had to leave a little bit early. DJ Mad Sticks, the same thing. But Mr. Luis Ojeda, appreciate him for being on. Everybody in the Jaffa Army hanging out with us on this lovely Friday afternoon. Be safe this weekend. We'll see you guys again on Tuesday morning. We love you. Appreciate it for myself, JP, for Dub and Mizzle.
Mizzle An Dub Show coming up tonight, episode 127. Come check us out. Who knows? You might see the Jaffos on it. You never know. Stay tuned.
You might. Or the wife might just say, get your ass to bed and let's go. We'll see.
We'll see.
From the 610 beach from the southeast.
I got to be up ass crack, and we got to be in practice in the morning. So if you're going to be on, make sure that shit quick, dude. You got to be alert in the morning.
No, I completely understand. Ladies and gentlemen, the All ProJaffos. We'll see you guys again next time. It's just